Hello and welcome to the Liga Watchalong live. Just making sure things are alright here, 2 seconds. Apologies. We've got a game coming up in about 10 minutes time between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. This is the first time that I've done a watch-along on my own. We usually have the boys on board for this, but 2 seconds. Let me just turn that down so you can't hear me. Usually I do this with the boys on the Sports Corner team, but we're doing a little bit different today, of course, because the Liga in the UK, it's really hard to access just because of the whole like copyright stuff and things like that. It's really hard to get access to it without using different websites like Premier Sport, which is what I'm using today. So it's going to be a good game, this one. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get this off the screen. There we go. The webcam is on. So welcome to everybody that's joining us for this. We've got a big game coming up today, and I'm very annoyed because, as you can see on the left-hand side there, I put that Barcelona playing a 4-3-3, and they're actually changing up formation today and playing a 4-1-2-3. But the way it's going to work, of course, is kickoff is in about 10 minutes' time, a little bit less than that. We're going to talk through the game, talk through the teams, and just get ready for this match, because I'm interested to see how this game goes overall. It'll be a very, very good game indeed to see how this one goes down. With Barcelona, of course, currently right now, as it speaks, sitting in second place, while Atletico Madrid sitting third. If you have any messages, want to talk throughout the show, put your opinions in the chat as always. And if you are new to the stream, be greatly appreciated if you do leave a subscription. We're going to be doing more watch-alongs in the future. If you've been on the channel before, you know right now that we've been doing a lot in the business with the virtual tournament going on and that. This is kind of getting ready for when that tournament finishes up. And we move on to the next step. I want to do a lot more of these watch-along shows where we can kind of watch games with you, talk about everything that's going on within football, and just chill out overall. It's something different. We did this with the Bundesliga, of course. We did Bundesliga watch-alongs, which was very, very fun indeed to be able to do that. But I'm looking forward to this overall, and hopefully we can get you guys involved with this as well in the future, of course. Plenty other games coming up in the future. I've kind of got a schedule in my head of some games that we could do in the future. But I have it kind of tricky right now, being able to get some of the games because I don't have access to BT Sport and Sky for now. But I'm going to get that ahead of the Champions League. So we've got all that to come up in the near future. But today's game is one I'm really excited for. And I'm looking forward to this specifically because I haven't watched a Barcelona or the Liga game for not for a long time, but specifically Barcelona game. I've not watched a Barca game for a long time, so I'm very excited for it. And most of all as well, if you can hear the TV in the background, just give me a heads up and I'll turn it down very, very slightly so it's not kind of lingering in the background as we watch this game. But how are we doing, Chris? Welcome into the stream. It's something different. And I'm looking forward to it. So you can see on either side of the screen right now, on the left and on the right, the lineups for today's games. Now, Barca's actually changed up the tactic from what they played in the last game. They're playing a 4-1-2-3 today, not a 4-3-3. Now, I would change it, but I actually made all this stuff on Photoshop not too long ago, and I'd have to go on there again and change it all up and things like that. So it is quite a mess about to change it. So I'll just keep repeating the fact that Barca are playing a 4-1-2-3 today. So 4-1-2-3 for the home side. As for the away side, Atletico Madrid, they're playing a 4-4-2 as you'd expect them to do. It's quite a good looking side on paper, and I've got some stats that I've collated together ahead of this match, which does kick off in about 6 minutes time. Going to be a great game, of course. If you're in the UK and you want to watch this match and you're wondering how do I get access to this game, it's on Premier Sport. Currently, they're doing a deal right now where you can get a month's of content. I think it's for like a penny or something like that. So if you go to premiersport.com and you want to watch this game live, then I would highly recommend doing that now. Of course, remember to cancel your membership afterwards if you're not looking to pay for it. But if you are just wanting to kind of chill out, if you're watching the game at the same time and you want to see somebody kind of reacting to these matches, then come and sit back with us because it's going to be a great game of football which kicks off in about 5 minutes time, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions throughout this game as it does go on, because I'm certainly looking forward to this one. So in terms of the stats for this match, Atletico Madrid haven't actually lost a game since February. We do a podcast on this channel on the Sports Corner, and we talked about Atletico Madrid before, saying that they were struggling at the time, and they've really come into their own form recently, specifically since the break took place. They've really started to kick on as a side, and it's great to see how they've been doing so far as a club since the break, and of course even then, before then, since February, they've been absolutely outstanding. As for Barcelona, they've also been unbeaten since March time. Both sides lost to Real Madrid. One lost on February the 1st. The other team actually lost March the 1st, which is, I thought, was an interesting coincidence, you could say so, in terms of how these sides have claimed points and lost games. So, of course, Real Madrid being fantastic. A win for Barcelona today will put them up to first place. As for Atletico Madrid, they're currently sitting third on 58 points. If they can win today, it would put them 7 points closer towards Barcelona in second. However, at this stage of the season, specifically with a side like Barcelona, I just think it's very hard to claim 7 points, specifically when Atletico Madrid they've been alright, they're getting results, but at the same time, it's more of a case of they do tend to grind out a lot of 0-0, 1-0, 2-0, very slender results, rather than like a Barcelona getting a 5-0 or a 4-2. You know, these comprehensive results that Barca and Real Madrid get just aren't, quite frankly, results that Atletico Madrid get often. I mean, they had a 5-0 win not too long ago, which was awesome to see in terms of... it's very rare when you see Atletico Madrid win by such a comprehensive result. But yeah, no, it's going to be a good game, this one. Chris, I know you've put in the chat a 1-1 draw. I'm hoping for some goals in this game. I really am. It's going to be a good one. I'd like to see some big results in this, and hopefully some big goals as well, of course. The teams are about to come out for this game, but I'm looking to do a couple more of these watch-alongs in the future. I've got access right now to a couple of games that I can watch for free, so if this does work well, people enjoy it, then I'll probably do this more in the future, and we'll start building up some more watch-alongs. But I know also a couple of the boys as well on the team want to do their own watch-alongs, not just of football as well, so we're going to look into that over the future and really kind of grind towards doing more watch-alongs than that, especially with the season still going on and ending. I think August time around, we've got the Champions League, so kind of the next month we've got a little bit more of league football before we go into the Champions League. So we're going to do some Champions League watch-alongs and things like that as well. So what a way to start with a great game this is on paper. Barcelona, we know what Barcelona are like. Such a comprehensive side. Atletico Madrid, well, it's going to be quite interesting to see how they go for the rest of the season now, because the thing with Atletico Madrid is that the titles has gone. There's no way that they can get the title anymore. That ship has sailed a long time ago. But in terms of the Champions League, you know, they knocked Liverpool out beforehand. A great result that was as well. And it's kind of a case now, do they look towards trying to win the Champions League maybe? Because we've seen them so many times fall at the last hurdle or slip up when you'd expect them to win. And this should be the season, in my opinion, where if Atletico Madrid were going to go for it, they absolutely go for it now. And I hope that they do that. So they're just showing the lineups of the teams now. As I said, they've changed formation today. So instead of it being a 4-3-3 as I expected it to be, it's a 4-1-2-3. Vidal is on the left wing today. He's been playing centre forward a lot, actually, for Barcelona. He's very good at shifting positions, Vidal. Great player on his day. Atletico Madrid, my tip to win Champions League. Not saying that because they knocked us out. World-class manager. Still, in my opinion, gets the job done. World-class keeper, solid defence. They've got a great side. Great side, Atletico Madrid. And I think, as I said before, you have to look at how they play. And it's not a case of this side getting big wins here and there. They are a very nitty-gritty. They'll keep compact and tight and very good defensively. They're really resolute, but they won't get many goals in games. I think it was quite recently they got a 5-0 victory, but I think before that they'd not got a victory of 3 goals or more for months, I think. Something like that. So both managers shaking hands, Simeone and Quique Setien, who I know has been in a very bad position right now with Barcelona. There's been a lot of talk of him potentially moving on at the end of the season, which is I don't think it's much of a surprise to Barcelona fans, but you have to question the board specifically, and not just because of Kike Setien, but the whole actual concept of course, we heard Artur is leaving, and he's going to Juventus, with Miralem Pjanic moving the other way, and you've got to think to yourself, realistically, who got the better deal? Was it Juventus or was it Barcelona? And I guess you could say Artur was a little bit expensive from Juventus, but at the same time, Barcelona have just given, have just acquired a player that's 30 and above in Miralem Pjanic. So the game's just kicked off now. Barcelona 0, Atletico Madrid 0. So let me get that clock started and underway here. I'm going to get the clock started at the 30-second mark. So we're actually in time with the game itself in this one. So the first half, I'm looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this. It's going to be a good match overall. So there we go. We're underway. 31 seconds on the clock. Boom. Timer's on. We got there in the end. So it should be an interesting game, this one. A Liverpool end of 30-year title wait. Leeds look like finally getting promoted. Well, apparently, as far as I'm aware, Leeds are 1-0 down right now to Luton, as far as I'm aware. But this should be a good game. And as I said, if you are new to the stream and you do enjoy this, it'd be greatly appreciated if you do leave a follow and talk to us in the chat. You know, come and enjoy the game, because it's going to be a feisty affair. And already we've had a shot in this match. Luis Suarez taking on an opportunity from outside the box. But as I said, sides on paper today, typical side you would expect. I think the noticeable player who's moved into the Barca side today is Riqui Puig. Young Spanish midfielder, great on the ball. Kind of, a lot of people are touting him as the next Xavi, you could say. But I do think he's got a long way to go before that. But he's a very good young prospect. But they're playing a 4-1-2-3, not a 4-3-3. So they kind of shifted their tactics today under Kike Setien, which is interesting to see, because he's got a lot of work to do right now. This Barca side they're grinding out results, but at the same time, they've had a lot of issues recently. As I said, the Artur deal is a little bit questionable. The whole thing with Kike Setien potentially getting sacked if they don't win the Champions League is causing a little bit of unrest. I don't think, and I don't know whether people agree or not, I think there'll be a couple of people, especially if you're a Barca fan, that will look at Kike Setien and say he's not the right man for the job. And I think, in a way, he's not the right man. A team like Barcelona, you have to look, and there are big names in there. You know, let's take a Messi aside for a second. You've got Suarez, you've got Griezmann, you've got players like that are going to have big egos. And if you haven't had experience of managing big egos, you've got a very, very tough job on your hands. Good clearance there. I think Atletico Madrid have got a... Oh no, they're giving that as a goal kick. I don't think that... I think that should have been a corner there. But yeah, I think they've got a very good squad, but some big egos in there. So if you haven't got experience of managing these big egos, you've already got a tough job on your hands when it comes to, you know, keeping players like Messi and Griezmann happy. I mean, he's a good manager. He is a good manager. I'm not saying he's awful and he's the world's worst manager in the world. I mean, at Real Betis, he was doing all right, but he wasn't doing fantastic. I mean, they were down towards the mid-table at the time. I mean, I think he left before... No, sorry, he left just after Nabil Fekir had joined in and kind of had a couple of games with him. But the thing with Barcelona is you have to look at other teams across world football, and there are teams like Real Madrid. I'm not going to include Atletico Madrid in this because they've had Simeone for so long now that it'd be interesting to see when Simeone moves on, where he goes, and most importantly, where Atletico Madrid go next, to whether they want to try and get another manager in with a very similar defensive style of football, or whether they change their tactics up for the future. But 4 minutes in here, Barcelona just having a bit of a foothold of possession, and that has quickly died out. But I think with a club like Barcelona, you expect them to have a big-named manager. And over the last couple of years, Kike Setien, not really the right man. Ernesto Valverde, not really the right man. I don't think Barcelona have had a massive named manager for quite some time now. And I guess you could say there's managers that they've made into big names. So you can take I'm just trying to think of the Barcelona managers of yesteryear, for example. They've had some good managers, but in terms of like a massive caliber manager of a big name, you know how like Real Madrid have got Zinedine Zidane, which I guess is a big name, more of a player than he was a manager when he first originally joined. But even before then, they've had big names over the last couple of generations that have come in and all done different tactics and jobs and formations. I mean, Rafa Benitez, when he came in a couple of years ago, wasn't exactly the most amazing manager at the club. Didn't really get Real Madrid playing how they wanted to, but still a big name technically as a manager. I think Barcelona should go, if they're going to get another manager in, should go down that route. Not Rafa Benitez, but there are some good managers out there. Allegri is still available, and he's been available for quite some time now. Of course, I think someone like Ancelotti, when he originally joined, never would have gone to Barcelona anyway, just because of his affiliation with Real Madrid in the past. But we're in a new era, I think, of managers. We're shifting away from the era of the Mourinhos and that, in my opinion. The last kind of decade we've had. Oh, that was a close opportunity. Just a set piece there for Atletico Madrid just before the 6-minute mark, and Maria Jimenez and Diego Costa. I think Costa would have been offside actually had that have countered. Literally just a whisker away from putting that in the back of the net. Great cross from Carrasco. Close, but I don't know whether that counted as offside or not. But good chance there for Atletico Madrid. Good little chance. But I think we're shifting into a new generation of managers. The Mourinho and the Guardiola era. I think Guardiola will still be up for the next decade plus. He's a great manager on his day, but you have to look at like Mourinho, Benitez, those types of managers of the last decade, the yesteryear, you could say, that have not necessarily got, well, you could say they've got worse to a certain extent, but they're not managing at the biggest clubs in the world football. You look at PSG, Thomas Tuchel, good manager on his day. I personally don't think he's a great fit for PSG, but they've got a lot of work to do in the background if they want to win the Champions League. Real Madrid, Zinedine Zidane, new upcoming manager. I think you could even say to a certain extent Thomas Tuchel was an up-and-coming manager when he moved to Dortmund. He was building himself as a new prospect at the time, but I think we're moving into a new generation of younger managers that are starting to build their name in football. Julian Nagelsmann of Leipzig, great manager. Good chance here maybe for Messi. Takes it outside of the box there, but it's blocked. Good little block from Koke there. Sorry, Saul, not Koke. He's not even on the pitch today. Good little work, that. We're moving into a new generation of managers, I think. Oh, that's great work there from Ricky Puig. Takes the shot, and what a save that is. First proper shot on target, that's going to count. And that's a great save from Jan Oblak. Very good save. Ricky Puig, I think, outside of the box. Trying to curl that in. Let's have a look at that chance. Actually, it was Rakitic there. Good little work from him. Just out muscles. Who's that there? Just out muscles. Rakitic outside the box. Tries curling it in. Takes the ball off of Lodi. Good chance. 8 minutes in, though. That's like the first major opportunity, I would have said. That's come from either side so far. But in terms of the goalkeepers, they've got some good goalkeepers on either side here. Of course, Oblak for Atletico Madrid. Ter Stegen for Barcelona. I think this is an interesting question for anybody who's watching this right now, and whether you'd agree or disagree or not. I'd be interested to know, who do you class as the best goalkeeper out of the two that are playing here? Would you say Oblak's better, or would you say Ter Stegen's better? Because it's tough to say, because they're both outstanding goalkeepers on their day. But I do think Oblak is a better showstopper than Ter Stegen is. But that's not saying Ter Stegen's worse. I just think Oblak, in terms of a showstopper, is one of the best in the world. And I think he's so underappreciated as a goalkeeper. It's very rare you see him linked to big clubs, necessarily speaking, while you get, like, for example, when Courtois was getting linked with Real Madrid all the time. Oblak's been solid for years now. And you've only got to look at his record and the fact of how many clean sheets he's kept and I think, goals conceded since he came in from Benfica. It's an unbelievable record. Absolutely unbelievable record. So we're just about to hit the 10-minute mark of this game. 0-0. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Vidal with a back heel. Trying to get into the box there, and I think it's come as a handball. Yeah, it's a handball there from Saul. Good little opportunity maybe here for them to whip this in and get the early goal in the game. Lovely back heel from him. And yeah, that's as obvious as a handball as you're going to get. Just outside of the box on the far left-hand side. I'm interested to see who's going to whip this one in here. 10 minutes on the clock. Nice early goal in this game would make it interesting. Messi's looking ready to pounce. Obviously shaved the beard off now, so I think Messi's going to whip this one in here. He is indeed. See if he can get this into the back of the net. It's a bit of an awkward angle to shoot. I mean, he could try it if he wants. It'd be a ludicrous goal, but I'd assume he'd dink this in. In fact, he's actually gone for it. He went for it there. Went to the near post with his opportunity. Saw a little bit of space to try and get that in, but Diego Costa, good clearance off the line. Corner there. Had Costa not got there, I think it'd have clipped the post. But we've got a corner now. First corner of the game. Lofted in at the back post. And it's in. Goal. We've got a goal. First goal is in already. And, well, that's poor marking. That's really poor marking from Atletico Madrid. 1-0 already. And we have the first goal of the game. 11 minutes in here. Good worked corner. Great worked corner. And Barcelona in the lead. 1-0. Big goal. Let me change that. So we have the goal on the table. And Quique Setien does not look happy right now. He looks absolutely fuming. Just want to see that goal back again there. Great header. Lofted into the box. I think he's actually come off Diego Costa there. Has he come off Diego Costa's foot? Oh, that's unlucky. He's nutmegged him. That is unbelievable. Well, to give you context to that goal, if you can't actually watch the game, it's been whipped in by Messi. It's curled to where Diego Costa is, and it's actually nutmegged Diego Costa. It's gone in front of the back of his arse and into the back of the net. Well worked corner. Very well worked corner indeed, but it's literally just nutmegged Diego Costa and clipped off the back of him and gone back into the back of the net. So it's going to be an own goal here for Diego Costa. 12 minutes in, Barcelona are 1-0 up, and that is the goal that they needed to keep this game off in style. Very good cross there from Messi. And quite frankly, I don't think Diego Costa could have done much there in terms of the opportunity. I think it would have gone into the back of the net anyway, but he should have closed his legs because, quite frankly, his legs were so wide open there. Messi's literally just nutmegged him from the corner, which is mental. But 1-0 Barcelona. Be interested to see what happens here now because Atletico Madrid, realistically speaking, as the table currently stands, Barcelona go back into the top spot, of course, with that goal, but there's plenty of time left to go in this game. So anything can really happen in this match. But Atletico Madrid, they're third right now in the league, 58 points they're currently on. 4 points ahead of Sevilla, who they don't have a game in hand. But they're looking quite good here for a Champions League spot. Fifth place is Getafe on 52 points. So 6 points away from dropping out of the Champions League. They've really started to get a bit of a foothold now on the Champions League spots. It was only a couple of weeks ago before the break took place where they were actually down in 6th place. So they've really got a good run of form going here. But good goal there. Good goal there from Barcelona. Of course, if you're new to the stream as well, it'd be greatly appreciated if you do leave a subscription. We're going to be doing more of these watch-alongs in the future for La Liga, looking at doing some Premier League ones. But it won't just be me as well. We'll have a couple of the other boys on. We have a team of people that work on this channel. There'll be sometimes me doing a watch-along with somebody else. Maybe there could be all 4 of us in the building. There could be 5 or 6 at some point. Or maybe there'll be other times where some of the boys just do a watch-along on their own. But we're looking to do more of these. Specifically now, we're getting towards the end of the season. We did a couple of Bundesliga watch-alongs over the last couple of weeks, and they went quite well. So we wanted to do a few of these watch-alongs on YouTube where, you know, we take individual games and watch them in the background. But for any of you that have just joined, welcome to the stream. If you're wondering what's happened so far, it is Barcelona 1, Atletico Madrid 0. Diego Costa own goal. He was nutmegged from a corner by Messi. You wouldn't be able to believe it, but if you can get the highlight of the goal, then you'd understand how that's happened. with Diego Costa getting nutmegged there. But got to say, first 15 minutes here, not really seeing much of Atletico Madrid on the ball at all. Well, they're talking now. Yannick Ferreira Carrasco is bombing down the left-hand side here. He's in acres of space. And that's got to be a penalty. Well, the referee's just given a penalty. And just like that, as I've literally just said, Atletico Madrid have just been given a penalty. And well, that is absolutely blatantly a penalty. There can be no questions about that. Yannick Ferreira Carrasco wiped out there by Arturo Vidal, I think. You can see here he's just bombing down the left-hand side. Vidal clips him, doesn't get any of the ball. Carrasco goes down. And we might have an equaliser in this game 3 minutes after the first goal's gone in. And you can say that there's not a massive amount of tackle there. I mean, Atletico Madrid and Simeone, they're protesting for a penalty. It absolutely is. He doesn't clip him massively, but it's a penalty either way. And Diego Costa stands over this. Can he make it 1-1 and we have our equalising goal? That is the question. Can he make up for his own goal? Diego Costa runs up on the spot. And it's saved! Oh, well. That's a poor penalty from Costa, and his day just gets worse. Penalty is saved. Big save from ter Stegen. It's just as we were talking about the whole idea of ter Stegen and Oblak being the good goalkeepers. Diego Costa misses his penalty. And just as Benaldo comes in as well and says in before save, you're absolutely right. Not a good penalty. Not a good penalty whatsoever there. Really poor penalty. I think he kind of went... Oh, VAR. Oh, he's giving it as a penalty again. What's happening here? Right, okay. A yellow card to ter Stegen. Penalty's getting retaken again. Jesus Christ. Well, apparently here, ter Stegen has come off his... Yeah, ter Stegen's come off his line before Diego Costa's even kicked the ball. The referee has gone to VAR, is giving it as a penalty again. So, it's going to get retaken. But yeah, ter Stegen was miles off his line there. Good refereeing there. Bit of a protest now from the Barcelona players. They're absolutely fuming. Perfect example of rating keepers earlier. It literally is, isn't it? Great save. But he's going to get taken again here now. Well, the Barca players are protesting. The referee's not having any of it. He's saying it absolutely needs to be taken again. Messi's not happy and he's protesting. But the referee's saying, right, go away. We're going to take the penalty again. So, does lightning strike twice to Stegen? Who knows? Maybe it can. Who knows? But we're now a minute after the decision's been made. The Barca players are literally swarming around the referee here, still protesting for the penalty to not stand. But the referee's not having any of it. PK's fuming. In my opinion, he's absolutely correct here. I don't know why there's any protests. ter Stegen is miles off his line from when that is taken. Oh, it's miles off his line. I mean, from the point where Diego Costa's hit it, both of his feet are off the line, so it's a penalty to be retaken again. But this time, Diego Costa's not taking it. I think Saul's taking this one. So PK's just gone into the book as well for complaining to the referee. ter Stegen's got a yellow card as well, but Diego Costa's not taking it. Saul's taking it. So there's another chance here for Barcelona to go to 1-1. Of course, Atletico Madrid, they need this goal. Saul's going to take it this time. Can lightning strike twice? Saul stands on the spot, hits it, and it's in the back of the net. Just like that, we're back on. 1-1. 15 minutes in, that penalty was given. 3 minutes later, it was finally taken, and it's Barcelona 1, Atletico Madrid 1. Saul with the equaliser. Game on. What an interesting first 15-20 minutes this has been. I mean, as I said before, ter Stegen, both feet were off the line. I mean, I'm not a Barca fan or Atletico Madrid fan in any way, shape or form, but he was absolutely off his line when the penalty was taken. Saul hits it right, ter Stegen goes left, wasn't going to save it, good penalty. We're 1-1 in this match, and we're 18 minutes into this. It's all square, and what a good start this has been. I mean, it was only talking about 2 minutes ago before he gave the penalty, saying that Atletico Madrid hadn't really done much at all, but one simple bit of trickery from Ferreira Carrasco puts off Vidal, he makes the tackle, and just like that, we're level. So, what a nicer way to start the watch-alongs. Of course, we like a game like this. It's a massive game in the Liga because, of course, it's paramount that Barcelona win this. Absolutely paramount that they win this. But just as Benaldo said, does lightning strike twice? Unfortunately, it doesn't. And ter Stegen there, well, quite frankly, shouldn't have just come off his line for the penalty. But 1-1. 20 minutes in. Good little game so far. And, well, the thing is here, if Barcelona don't come out in this game and it does stay 1-1 or Atletico Madrid nick a winner, I personally think that, I'm not saying the season's over, but they have got a big task on their hands if they're going to try and get the league title. Because right now, as it stands, of course, Real Madrid will stay top with a 1-1 draw. As for Atletico Madrid, they'll also stay in the same position. I don't actually think, as far as I'm aware, Atletico Madrid will stay third no matter what happens in this game. So, I mean, for them, of course, it doesn't really matter. Well, it does, of course, because they want to get that Champions League spot pretty much sorted out, so they don't have to worry about Getafe and Sevilla behind them. But it's a big game for Barcelona, this, and here come Atletico Madrid again. Good chance here for Angel Correa into Llorente, and then it's in for Lodi, but he's offside. Coming for it now, last couple of minutes since the penalty was taken and they scored it. Atletico Madrid looking all right. Arias a bit frustrated with the offside decision. As for Diego Costa, if you've just joined, 20 minutes in, own goal for Barcelona came from Diego Costa. Messi did indeed nutmeg Diego Costa from a corner, which is absolutely unbelievable when you think about it, but it happened. And then 3 minutes later, Yannick Ferreira Carrasco got a penalty for Atletico Madrid, and it was buried by Saul. It had to get retaken again. Diego Costa took it first time, missed the penalty, but ter Stegen came off his line, so they retook the penalty again, and it's 1-1 in this game. But if you are new to the stream, I hope you guys do enjoy it. It's nice to see somebody's gave it a dislike, of course. If you don't enjoy it, of course, do give a dislike and tell us why, of course. I know there'll be a lot of people out there which will no doubt be looking for non-legal streams, as you could say, for these games, and that's totally understandable. So, if you do leave a dislike, that's totally understandable. Of course, give a heads up on how we can improve this, because this is the first time that I've done a watch along with this setup. We tend to usually do it on StreamYard, so I've kind of changed it up a little bit, so I can do a singular one on my own with this kind of setup. But we've got a chance here for Barcelona. Messi's curled it! Oh, Jesus. Well, that was close. When you need a bit of magic, you expect Messi to bury that, and that was a whisker away from going in the back of the net. What an opportunity that was. Messi position just inside the box, trying to curl it in on goal, Partey trying to block it. That was really, really close to going in the back of the net, just wide of the post. Jesus. If that had gone in, that would have been a monstrous goal to make it 2-1. Bloody hell. What a man. But there are more of us who run the sports corner as well, so I will get a couple more of the boys on in the future in that to do games. There'll be some of us doing singular games on our own. There'll be other ones, there'll be like 2 of us or 3 of us. So there's plenty of us on board to do more watch-alongs. But here come Atletico Madrid now on the attack. It is on for Marcos Llorente. A little bit of skill there into Thomas Partey. Not really pushing forward much here. Now for Arias on the right back position. Oh, it's a good bit of work there from Correa. Poor ball. Comes back to him again. Carrasco. He's had a really good game. Lovely ball in for Lodi. And it's a good save there for ter Stegen. No one really in the box there to try and tap that one in. So they're coming into this game now, Atletico Madrid. They are really starting to get back into this game. But it's a good match so far. Both teams going for it. Of course, Atletico Madrid would like to stop Barcelona from winning the title, but at the same time, I don't think they'd like Real Madrid winning it either. So, I guess you could say, they're never going to give them the win, of course, because they need the 3 points as well, so they can get into the Champions League next season. It's still quite tight down there, but Atletico Madrid have got a good foothold for the European spots. Apologies if that's my phone going off. So we're 23 minutes into this one. Messi's gone down, but he's going to get up there. He's not injured, which is alright. And they're going to play on here. PK and Lenglet at the back, just passing it around, taking their time. Slow the play down, of course, as you would expect. Oh, Nelson Semedo. Good work from him there on the right-hand side. Into Vidal, who's playing left wing, but I think he's shifted back to a centre-mid position here. It's interesting with Vidal, because he plays an assortment of positions for Barcelona. Played as a centre-forward a couple of times. Played on the wing, of course, today, and I think he's played on the left wing a few times before. He's on the ball now, actually, into Messi, who's just outside of the box. Great tackle. And there's a good chance to counter-attack here. Carrasco, who is on loan, of course, from Dalian Yifang in the Chinese Super League, now gets it into the path of Saul. Just waiting on the outside of the box here to dink it in. Moves it into the midfield. There's Carrasco. Moved it to the right-hand side. Arias looking to whip this one in. Deflection. Drops it to Vidal. Clears his lines. Good chance. Good chance. They need to work it a little bit more, I think, Atletico Madrid. 25 minutes on the clock. They seem to be... I feel like they're rushing a little bit with their attacks, which is understandable against a team like Barcelona, because you just don't know how many chances you're going to get against them, quite frankly speaking. But I feel like they're rushing it a little bit too much. Maybe just trying to do what they did for the first goal, for the penalty, just get these Barcelona players to make a rough tackle, maybe get another penalty, get some decisions going their way. I mean, you've already got to say 2 of the back 4 on yellow cards. If you count to Stegen, then it'd be 2 of the back 5. He's got a yellow card, of course, coming off his line for the original penalty for the equaliser. But I am going to try and sort out this setup in the future for future games. So maybe on the top you can see the goal scorers and things like that. As I said, this for now is just kind of a setup for a couple of days in that, a couple of weeks, maybe for longer, of course. But I want to make new setups and that, because when it comes to stuff like this and the graphic making, I make all of the stuff up, so it's not going to be outstanding graphics wise, but I'm trying my best to make it look good and nice and clean for these streams, and hopefully it looks all right for you guys. Hopefully it looks all right. But we've got the clock in the corner, the score, the team lineups and everything, so we've got all the details that you need. But the game has just slowed down a little bit here. Barca getting a bit more possession in this last 2 or 3 minutes. I think they're just looking back here at a tackle from Saul on Messi. Just clobbered into each other. This perfectly describes how the game's been so far. 195 passes that have been completed out of 228. Atletico Madrid have only had 59 passes out of 94. It just proves how much Barcelona have had the ball. Specifically in that first 10 to 15 minutes, they were really all over them. But since that equaliser, Atletico Madrid have just started to come out a little bit more attacking and playing a bit faster with their game. And as I said, maybe it's a little bit too quick, or that's how they want to play it. But 62.9% passing accuracy for a team like Atletico Madrid is not good at all, and they need to improve on that if they want to try and get a winner in this game. Here's Messi on the right-hand side, at the far right. Lovely dink over Renan Lodi. Vidal trying to pass it back to Messi again. Clobbered into him, gets the ball back, but the referee brings it back for a free kick, and yeah, it's a free kick. 100% a free kick. Absolutely. And tough day for Renan Lodi so far. Messi does seem to be having a fair amount of the ball on the right-hand side of the field. Gone in for a sweeping tackle there on Messi. Does clip him. I don't know whether he's given that as a free kick to Barca, or whether he's giving it for the tackle Vidal just made a moment ago on Renan Lodi. He's giving it as a foul for the Renan Lodi tackle from Vidal. So 28 minutes in, 1-1. Not looking too bad so far. Gonna have a free kick here on the edge of the Atletico Madrid box. Lofted high into PK, drops it down. Be interested to see next season whether Yannick Carrasco goes back to Atletico Madrid altogether, or whether he just goes back to the Chinese Super League and that's it. Because I don't think he's been outstanding at Atletico Madrid, but he's one of those players where if you had to picture him at a club, you picture him at Atletico Madrid. I just couldn't see him anywhere else. And I know that obviously in the Chinese League they've had problems with getting the season back underway, and they've got the whole thing now about the wage cap as well. So realistically speaking, those players on big wages, if they want to re-sign at a Chinese Super League club, they can't sign any, I think, more than like £50,000, which is still a lot of money. But when you think about players that are on 200, 300, Messi with a shot just wide of the mark, nowhere near the goal. When you've got players like on 200, 300 grand wages, if they're on a 3-year deal and it ends this season, they're not going to want to sign up for, what is like 4 times less their wage. It's, it's more than half of their wage, isn't it, for a lot of players. I think Yannick Carrasco's on about 200 grand a week, so he would be losing, nearly 3/4 of his original wage. So it'll be interesting to see how many players, specifically in the next year or two, come back from the Chinese Super League. Players like Carrasco, El Shawari, Salomon Rondon. Just trying to think of the players. Bakambu as well. You remember him for his days at Villarreal. I do think we'll see a couple more players come back. We're about to hit the 30-minute mark in this game, and Luis Suarez, I've got to say, I've not seen anything of him so far. It's the first time they've actually focused on him in this game, and that's the first thing I've really seen of him. 30 minutes in here, but we're going to have a drinks break here. 30 minutes in. As it stands, 1-1 in this match. Barcelona opened the scoring. Diego Costa own goal. As for Atletico Madrid, they equalised 3 minutes later. It was a penalty which Yannick Carrasco got, but it was originally taken by Costa. Ter Stegen saved it, but he came off his line, so it was retaken again, and Saul scored it into the back of the net. So half an hour into this, and it's 1-1. Not a bad game so far indeed. We've got more content coming on the channel in the next couple of weeks, of course. You might have seen earlier this morning we had the Wrestling Corner, which was available, a brand new episode of that with Simon and Rowan. That's available to watch on the YouTube channel now as well. You can also watch tomorrow. We have the podcast, the Top Corner podcast, which will be live at 3 p.m. UK time. I still need to write the notes up for that, so that's going to be fun. We're going to be live at 3 p.m. for that. We're going to talk about all of the week's football matches that have gone on, as well as the games coming up over the next week as well. So you don't want to miss out on that. It'll be a good episode. Plenty of big games still to come over the next week. And then, of course, as well, we have the NFL Corner, which should be available at some point this week. I don't know when. It tends to change quite a lot when the date is, so keep your eyes out. If you are an NFL fan, just keep refreshing and clicking F5, because honestly, I have no idea when it is. It changes a lot, but they're just showing back here the goals. Diego Costa getting nutmegged for that opening goal, and then Saul, who, lovely, comfortable penalty into that bottom right-hand corner, equalised in this game. So 1-1, and they're just coming off the drinks break now, so we're coming back into it. 31 minutes in, and we're looking good. Sane leaving City 54 million is a crazy bargain. It's mad, isn't it? And I think the thing with the Sane deal is, I think Man City have to look at it and say to themselves, well, we either lose Sane for free, or we just flog him now and take the money. And we know how Bayern have literally been, for the last year plus, trying to get Sane to join Bayern. And it's good to see that they've finally got him to join. But at the same time, for City, it's a very, very good deal. There's a chance here for... I was just about to say there was a chance for Atletico Madrid to try and get that in the back of the net. It was Arias who came bombing up there to try and put that into the back of the net. Passes it off to Correa, who looked like he was in great space to hit that in, and he's missed it. And he's gone back to Stegen. But yeah, no, I think the deal for City is great as well, because, as I said, you either lose him for free next season, or you take the money. And I think 54 million for a player whose contract was running out is a fantastic deal. And as for Bayern, well, they were going to need a replacement anyway, because Ivan Perisic was going to go back to Inter Milan after this season anyway. So they'd have lost him, so they would have had to have gone out and bought a winger. And, he's German. He's already played in the Bundesliga with Schalke. He has experience. I think the only problem with Leroy Sané, and it's going to be interesting to see how he comes back, is, of course, with that massive injury. We've got a chance here for Barca before I continue. He's gone out of play for a Atletico Madrid goal kick. It'd be interesting to see with Leroy Sané, when he comes back and starts playing again, can he sustain himself and not re-pick up the injury he had before, which kept him out for so long? I think that's a very big question. Of course, it's a big injury that he had for Manchester City, which kept him out for so long. So that's the risk that they're taking. Because if he does pick up an injury similar to that again, then they might have spent 54 million on a very expensive injury issue. What happened? I heard penalty drama. Well, Atletico Madrid got a penalty in the 15th minute. Diego Costa took it, and Ter Stegen saved it. but ter Stegen was off his line before Costa had even kicked the ball. So the referee booked him. The Barca players went round protesting. Piqué got booked. And then they took the penalty again. Saul took it instead and then put it into the back of the net. Absolutely deserved. Absolutely deserved. It was 100% that he came off his line. No question about it. And it was a good finish there from Saul for 1-1. But yeah, it was... anybody who's saying it should have stayed 1-0 and the penalty was saved, no, he was off his line, and you know he's off his line because Costa hadn't even kicked the ball before ter Stegen had got 2 feet off the line. Got a yellow card here. First yellow card. Saul Niguez. Tackle on Messi there. A couple of times he's been fouling Messi in this game. Of course, as you'd expect, a player of his quality to be the main man that everybody tries to go for. How's Puig doing? He looks all right. I mean, he's not been... I've not seen much of him, but he looks all right. He looks all right. He's pinged the ball about, but the midfield, I think, for Barca has been very quiet. The player I've seen the most is Vidal, who's playing on the left wing today, and he's running honestly everywhere. 1 minute I see him on the left, the next minute he's in the middle, then he's playing like as a fullback. It's mental. The stamina and the fitness of Arturo Vidal is crazy, and it is mad to think he's been playing at the highest level now for well over a decade. You've got to think Juventus, Bayern, Barcelona now. He's a great player on his day. Great player on his day. But this game's slowed down quite a bit. I was hoping maybe that this game would kick on a little bit with the penalty in 20 minutes ago, but it seems to have died down a little bit since the penalty went in. Another tackle on Messi there from Lodi again. I think Lodi probably going to go into the book if he makes one more foul here. But it's kind of quietened down a little bit this game. False 9 Vidal. Well, I thought they were playing a 4-3-3 at first. They're playing a 4-2-1, 4-3-2-1, I think, or 4-1-2-3 is the tactic they're playing. And I was wondering, why is Vidal playing left wing? He's a versatile man. Absolutely versatile man. Here is Ricky Puig on the ball. The youngster, of course, playing in today's game. And I think he'd be interested to see how much football he gets now, because, of course, I don't think we'll see much of our turf the rest of the season. I know they have got him, of course, up until the season finishes, so we will probably see him a couple more times before he does go to Juventus. But I do also think we'll see a lot more of Ricky Puig as well. I mean, he played the previous game for Barcelona, and he's got another call today, and especially in a game like this as well. It's a big call, because obviously Artur wouldn't be able to play because he was having medicals and that, so he's probably either still in Italy or back in Spain. But Yannick Carrasco here is on the left-hand side of the attacking phase of Barca play. It's lofted into Angel Correa, who's on the edge of the box here. Tries to take on a shot. ter Stegen saves that. This game has died out quite dramatically. As I said, 20 minutes since the penalty went into the back of the net, and it's really slowed down. Really slowed down. Not really been any major chances for either side here. Messi, of course, having that effort just inside of the box, which nearly curled into the back of the net. And as I said, if we'd have had it 2-1 after 25 minutes, then, you know, this game could have turned into an absolute free-for-all. But I know Chris predicted a 1. He's on target for that right now, so he's on target. False 9 Vidal. Hey, unfortunately, he's not playing false 9 today. It's left wing, isn't it? I don't know what you could class that as left wing Vidal. Talking about him, he's got to do a bit of defending here. Good work there. See, now he's playing striker. Cleared the lines there, Atletico Madrid. Jesus Christ, he's literally everywhere on the pitch. Such a good player on his day, Vidal. I do feel sorry for a lot of Barcelona midfielders, because I feel like they're just very underappreciated for what they do. You've only got to look at Ivan Rakitic and think to yourself, the amount of goals he scored for them. Yeah, he might not be the most insane player in the world. To talk about him, nearly just pinged in a ball there for Nelson Semedo to tap that into the back of the net. But he's a very underappreciated player. He scored some big goals for him. Very big goals for him. And I think even Vidal, to a certain extent, I know he was rumoured to be heading off to Inter. And I think to myself, well, no offence, but Vidal genuinely is right now one of Barca's best midfielders by a country mile. There aren't many players in that Barca team that have got the same work rate as Vidal has in terms of how he can bomb up and down the field. You know, you look at Rakitic. Realistically speaking, he's a bit more of an attacking midfielder. You look at Artur. I wouldn't say he's an attacking midfielder, but realistically speaking, he is going to do much more attacking football-wise in the way that he plays. Riqui Puig, he's going to be a little bit more attacking as well. And then if you look at the other players that they've got in the background, there's not really any other players. Sergio Busquets, he's more of a holding DM. He's not going to go bombing up and down. Vidal's just the perfect mix of a midfielder that this Barca side needed. I think since he's come in, he's done a great job. Very good job for them. Very, very good job. And it'd be very surprising if they do flog him off at the end of the season. I know, of course, there's no financial fair play this season, so it really is going to be a free-for-all in the transfer market. Of course, there's going to be a lot of clubs that will have lost money, but at the same time will probably spend a load this season just to make sure that they can get all these big-name players in before financial fair play kicks in next season. So expect teams like Real Madrid and Barcelona to maybe pick up a couple of big boys, if they can, with no financial fair play. Even teams like Man City, for example, if their ban isn't taking place this season, expect them to really just go all out to try and make as many signings as they possibly can before the next season. Well, there's a free kick here in a pretty decent position for Barcelona. Riqui Puig getting tackled there by Partey. I mean, he stayed up on his feet, which is good to see. And then Partey went back in for another tackle again. And he's free kick in a good area here. I'd say it's about 25 yards out. We all know who's going to stand over this and is probably going to take a shot on goal. Lionel Messi is just composing himself. Of course, I'm guessing the weather must be absolutely roasting right now in Barcelona, which is why the drinks breaks certainly take effect in Spain more than they do in Britain right now. But Messi is standing over this. And so is Jordi Alba, actually. He's one of those players that has been at Barcelona for decades. So that's 27 metres away from goal. 41 minutes on the clock. It's 1-1. I mean, if anything, if Messi can whack this in, this will be an absolute screamer. He's going to take it now. Hits it. Deflection. And Oblak has to punch it over. I don't think that would have gone into the goal. But that deflection just made it very, very tricky for Oblak there. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it comes off the head. And if it had not have been touched over, that would have gone in the back of the net. Good save from Oblak. Good little save there. That very slight deflection from the head of Saul nearly put that into the back of the net. So this is Barcelona's second corner of the game. If they can score from this corner again, then set pieces frenzy today from Barcelona. Of course, their first corner ended up in a goal. It's lofted in by Messi. This time it's cleared away by Thomas Partey. And it's going to go out for a throw-in the attacking phase of play for Atletico Madrid. Of course, it didn't go into the back of the net this time. I think Diego Costa will be the happiest of all the players on the pitch that he hasn't been nutmegged again for that to go in the back of the net. Semedo into Riqui Puig. Just taking a couple of touches on the ball here. It's nice to see a young player at Barcelona get a bit of time and a bit of experience. I know, of course, they've got Ansu Fati as well, who I think is on the bench today. So it'll be interesting to see maybe if Barcelona need to make a change later on, whether Vidal comes off and Ansu Fati comes on. If I was them, I'd probably shift Vidal into the midfield and take Rakitic off or Puig and put Fati on. Because I think Vidal's work rate right now is phenomenal. Here's PK. Back into Puig. Now for Longley, who the centre-backs are really far-fetched here up the pitch. And that goes into the hands of Oblak. Minute and a half left before we go into additional time. 1-1 still in this match. It's been a good game. Both teams have had a couple of decent chances, although I would say kind of in the last 10 minutes, Barcelona have looked to the better of the two sides. Of course, this means so much more to Barcelona than it will to Atletico Madrid. A point today would really, really still not be enough for Barca. They need to go out and win. Of course, the way that Real Madrid are right now, they're being absolutely relentless in their approach as they try and get the title. Whether they can do that or not, of course, will be interesting to see over these final couple of match weeks in La Liga. But we're going to do more watch-alongs in the future. I know Rowan is looking to do a F1 watch-along, I think, at some point, which will be interesting to see. I don't know how he's going to do it, but we're looking into it, and it's something new for the channel. It's going to be a tester, of course, to see whether that works or not, if we can get a new audience in at the same time. We're going to do more watch-alongs as well in the future, so I know I'm looking to do a watch-along for FC Porto versus Sporting. I know that's coming up soon, and that'll be a good game. That'll be a very good game indeed. To watch in Liga NOS. So that's one of the games I'm looking to do. And I know there's another Premier League free game coming up soon, so we might get all the boys in for that, and we'll do a Premier League watch along for that game, because then at least we all know we can watch it in time. But be interested to see here how many minutes of additional time are we going to get. I'd probably say 3, just because of all the complaints early and the protests for the penalty. The referee has given a additional 4 minutes. So we've got 4 minutes of additional time here. 3 or 4 minutes is about right, as I said. There was about 2 minutes where the Barcelona players were protesting for that equalising penalty, which Saul smashed into the back of the net about half an hour ago. Maybe a little bit less than half an hour ago. But since then, the game has kind of slowed down. 1 shot from Atletico Madrid, 7 from Barcelona, which really just proves how well Barca are playing right now. As for Atletico Madrid, it does kind of feel like a smash and grab situation right now. I think we've got a bit of a protest here from Diego Costa for a foul on him. He's not happy, but the referee's saying play on, play to the whistle, and Barca get a throw in. But yeah, it's been an alright game, but I do think it looks like with the way Atletico Madrid are playing, it's going to be a smash and grab game, 100%. They had a couple of good moments around the 20th to 25th minute where they were really going for it, and it looked like the tempo had just gone a little bit quicker. And talking about it now, there's got a good chance here to bomb down. It's Saul on the right-hand side. Maybe there's one chance to whip this in. We'll have one more opportunity before the half ends. Rakitic really keeping tight on him, and that's gone out of play. That's going to be a goal kick there for Barcelona. Waste of an opportunity. Big shouts to Northampton Town on their promotion. Yeah, no, they did really, really well, didn't they? 4-0 win against Exeter. Big, big win for them. Big, big win. And I know, I think it's the League One playoffs next week, which will be very good to watch. As a Rotherham fan, it's nice to know that I don't have to sit there and watch it, biting my fingernails off, hoping that we can win the game and make the final. We have that too much. So to know that we actually finished second, which is very rare for us, we love a playoff spot. It's awesome to see we don't have that problem this year. Because I feel like, to be honest, with the way that the season was going, we weren't doing bad and we were still kind of unbeaten, but I think we would have finished in the playoffs. And I don't know whether we'd have... I think we'd have been kind of like the favourites to go up, but I don't know whether we would have or not. So, yeah, I think second is a great finish for us this season. Very good finish. 2.5 minutes left of this game before we go to half-time. It is 1-1. Atletico Madrid just with a foothold of the possession right now, just passed around the back. Taking their time, I think, of course, right now. They'll want to go into the break at 1-1. There's been a really good spell over the last 10 to 15 minutes of Barcelona, just continuously attacking. Not really any major chances to speak of. There was a free kick from Messi about 5 minutes ago, which nearly went into the back of the net because of a deflection. Yannick Carrasco has just hit one from outside the box. It's bobbled for Costa, and that's a great clearance from Lenglet. Corner for Atletico Madrid with 1 minute left. Well, I think there was protest there from Jordi Alba for handball from Costa. Let's have a look here. Yeah, that is a handball. I mean, at the end of the day, he couldn't move his hand, but it was a handball. I would have probably kept it as a corner anyway. There's not much you can do in that situation when it's been hit his hand full pelt. But we've got a corner here. This will probably be the last kick of the half. Let's see if they can make anything of this. Of course, if they can make it 2-1 before half-time, it's going to make this game very, very interesting coming into the second half. So Carrasco whips this one in. Tries to get it towards the back post, but it's cleared away by Jordi Alba. And there's 15 seconds left on the clock here. Thomas Partey moves the ball into the path of Arias, who passes an awful, awful ball to Yannick Carrasco. He's not going to get that. And it's hit up the field. Referee has his whistle in his mouth. And it's very, very shortly he's going to blow it. And that is the whistle blown. So at half-time of this fixture, as it currently stands, it is 1-1 in this game. And there is a lot of work to be done from both sides, I think, to be honest. It's been a good match. There's been chances from both sides in this game, but I do think Barcelona, they had a really good spell of possession in the last 10 to 15 minutes of that second half. And they've had a couple of good chances. Messi with a long an effort from just inside of the box. The usual curler that you'd expect Messi to put into the top bins that just went wide. There was a free kick from 27 yards out that he had a deflection on the ball. And that nearly went into the back of the net because of Sal's deflection. But they've not really created any major chances at all since within the last kind of 5 to 10 minutes. So 1-1 in this game. As for Atletico Madrid, that penalty has proved really, really decisive for them. Very, very big call. It was the right call. Absolutely right call. But Atletico Madrid, one shot so far in this game. Just, they've not really looked amazing. And it does look like they're going to play a bit of a smash and grab game. So 1-1 at half time of this fixture. I can, of course, pause that now so we can have that back, of course, for the extra time. So the clock can go for now. But in terms of the game, what do you think of it so far if you have been watching it? I mean, Chris has put in the chat, Leeds drew 1-1. It's not happening again, surely. Only 6 points clear with 6 games remaining. I think Leeds will do it, to be honest. I think the decisive game was the game versus Fulham. But we've got 15 minutes now to chill out, of course, and talk about a couple of other things as well as the game. I think if there is a player who has to have a bit of credit for how good he was in that first half, I do think Vidal was really good in that game so far. And I will actually give credit as well to Ricky Puig, who was passing a couple of decent balls about. Not necessarily done anything outstanding, but for a young player, it's a big, big game to play. It's a massive game to play, and he's really composed himself so far. So it's good to see a youngster for Barcelona on the pitch, of course. Everyone probably dubbing him as the next Xavi, as you would suspect. Or the next Iniesta, of course. We can't forget about Andres Iniesta at the end of the day. But excited to see those playoffs too. Yeah, no, the playoffs are going to be really, really good to watch. Very excited for them indeed. Going to be some great games there to watch between Wickham, I think, Wickham, Portsmouth, a couple of the teams, 2 other teams, can't remember who they are exactly. But I'm going to have a quick look here and just see the championship scores as well. As I said, I had kind of an outlook on certain games that I wanted to do in the future in terms of watch-alongs. I've got a schedule, but it's not necessarily a schedule in terms of live streams that I'll be doing. It's a schedule for fixtures that I can kind of live stream if I want to. But I'm just going to have a quick look here at the standings of the Championship. So Wigan beat Stoke today. I mean, Wigan have been on absolute fire for the last couple of months. I think they're towards the top 5 in terms of form this season in the Championship since 2020, which is nuts. Of course, a 1-1 draw against Luton. Not a great result for Leeds, but still a decent result there. Fulham were 1-0 down. They brought it back to 2-1. Big result for them. Needed to come back, of course, after Leeds. Brentford, 3-0 win. Good to see them rolling on. I think they'll get into the playoffs. Barnsley, 2-0 win against Blackburn. Absolutely firing on all cylinders right now, Barnsley. They are starting to pick up some good points for next season. Diego Costa, the Elephant Man, the famous LFC chant. Oh, God, Jesus. I've got to say, in terms of the Atletico Madrid attack, they've not really looked that good at all. I think their best player has probably been Yannick Carrasco, who looks like, at times, because he's got that enigmatic amount of pace and he's really quick and he's got the skills. I do think if there's any player right now that is going to affect this game, it probably would be Yannick Carrasco. He's been really good so far. Really, really good. They've not had really many chances at all, of course, apart from that penalty. But he's looked solid. He has looked very good. And I do think if anybody's going to change the game for them right now, it definitely is Yannick Carrasco. He's been solid. As for Costa, I think it's the day to forget right now. Really, really poor. Really, really poor day for him. You know, missed the penalty. Although it, of course, probably wouldn't have counted. It missed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So he missed the penalty. Conceded the own goal for the opening one for Barcelona. So it's like, he's not had a great day so far at all, Diego Costa. And it wouldn't surprise me if he came off. He just doesn't look like he's up for it today. He's had a couple of fouls on him and that, and he's getting a little bit... You can kind of tell when Diego Costa gets pissed off, and he's at that stage where I just feel like Any more tackles that come in is literally going to blow. Stoke squad on paper should be challenging for promotion, being so downhill recently. It's crazy, man. I'm just looking at the table right now. Any team from 24th to 18th is well and truly in a relegation battle and can still survive. I mean, Luton today, big point for them. Massive point. They're on 40 points. Barnsley 41. Huddersfield, Hull 42. Stoke on 43. Middlesbrough 44. Charlton 46. It's really tight down there. But I tell you what, it makes for an enthralling final end to the season in terms of the battle at the bottom. Really good. I mean, you know, for all we know, at the end of the season, it could be Middlesbrough, Stoke, and Huddersfield going down. You just don't know. It's crazy to see, of course, what's going on in terms of the league there. But it's a mad season in the Championship. As for the top of the table, Leeds 75 points, West Brom on 71 in second. They've got a game in hand, so of course they'll go 1 point behind Leeds if they do beat Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow night. That's going to be a good game, of course. Big game for Sheffield Wednesday, that as well. They're looking towards trying to survive this season too. Although picking up points now, they should realistically be safe. As for Brentford, 69 points. If West Brom don't win, well, Brentford can move into the top two, which is massive for them. Very big if Brentford could do that. They've been plodding along this season, and so far they're getting good results, and it's worked a charm. So we should be getting back underway with the game in about 4 to 5 minutes' time. We're at half-time in this one. 1-1 in this game. It's been a good match, couple of chances. I mean, they're just showing back here the Carrasco penalty decision. I mean, Vidal now obviously giving it away. Just having a look here. It was absolutely a penalty. No doubt about it. It's a very slight clip on Carrasco. Very slight. It's not a massive clip on him. But Diego Costa's penalty was poor. Very poor. Good save from ter Stegen. But when you're off your line, of course, it's absolutely deserved that the penalty gets retaken again. You know, it's as soon as Costa's connected with the ball, both feet are off the line. And then Saul, great penalty, bottom right-hand corner. Lovely finish. That's his 5th goal of the season for Atletico Madrid. Been a good player. And he was not going to miss that right into the bottom right-hand corner, so that's a good goal. But yeah, no, the Championship is nutty. I do love the EFL. It's nice to see how tight it is in the Championship specifically. I know it's a shame, of course, League 1 and League 2 ended because it was really tight in League 1 right now. I do think we'd have had a tough job on our hands as a Rotherham fan to still be up there with some of the sides. I mean, Wickham were really on form at that point. I think we drew a couple of games, but we were still unbeaten in 9. So we weren't doing bad, but I just felt like maybe eventually the wheels were going to fall off. Not like fall off just overall, but slowly fall off, and maybe we'd start dropping points here and there. But we should be back underway in a moment. Just showing us the stats here: 63% possession for Barcelona, 37% for Atletico Madrid, 4 attempts on target for Barcelona, only 1 attempt on target for Atletico Madrid. There's not been a great deal of opportunities at all from either side to scream and shout about. As I said, there was the Messi opportunity, which, had that have gone in, would have been an unbelievable goal. Would have been a really good goal and would have made this game even more interesting. But the Atletico Madrid chances have been far and few. Really far and few. In terms of the table right now, it means Barcelona are in second on 70 points. Atletico Madrid 11 points behind them in third on 59. Barcelona need to win. Goal difference is the same as Real Madrid, but of course, head-to-head wise, Real Madrid go, of course, on top if they were to be on the same amount of points because they beat Barcelona 2-0. So Barcelona have to win this game. Have to win it, because if they lose or draw, well, it's going to be very tricky for them. Very tricky for them indeed to try and win the title. We know right now how relentless Real Madrid have been for the rest of the season, and how they have just been relentless for the last couple of months in general. We're actually going to look at the table here. It'd be interested to see the fixtures that both of these sides have still got to play over the next couple of weeks. Sorry about the squeaky chair. It's very squeaky indeed. So Barcelona, of course, I think this is their last big game in terms of top 10 sides. Oh, no, sorry, they've got one more top 10 side to play, which is Villarreal. So that is on Sunday. But after that, they've got games against struggling Espanyol, Valladolid, Osasuna, and Alaves. So realistically speaking, they're all games that you would expect these sides to win. Of course, Alaves towards the bottom end of the table, Espanyol at the bottom right now. So they're struggling big time. Leganes towards the bottom too. So you really wouldn't expect Barcelona to lose a single game from now. Even Villarreal in 6, tough game. They have to win that one. Paramount that they get victories. And as for Real Madrid, they've got to play Getafe in their next game. They've got Athletic Bilbao, Alaves, Granada, Villarreal, and Leganes. So theirs is very mixed. Of course, Getafe still fighting for a European spot. Athletic Bilbao themselves are still in the running for a European spot, a couple of points off, so they will still have a tricky game against them. Granada, they're still in the running for a European spot, but it's a little bit less likely for them that they'll do that, more of a mid-table finish. And of course, Villarreal, as I said before, they're fighting for the top 5. They're currently in 6th place, so still a lot of work to do for both sides. Barcelona do technically, in my opinion, have the better run-in for the rest of the season. Some good games still to come for either team. As for Atletico Madrid, as it stands, 59 points. They'll be sat in 3rd place. They've got some pretty big games still to come. They've got to play Mallorca in the next match, which they won 5-1 today against Celta Vigo. You would expect Atletico Madrid to win that one. But other games, they've got Real Betis, Getafe, and Real Sociedad as the last 3 games of the season. Some interesting teams in there, a lot of the mid-table sides. Of course, Real Sociedad starting to drop down the table big time, so they're still looking to get a European spot. It's going to be a tricky task for them, though. I know they lost quite recently again, so tough game on their hands. But we should be back underway in just a moment's time. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, 1-1, good game. And hopefully we can have a couple more good opportunities from either side. So I'm going to get everything set up here for the second half. Of course, get everything underway and all sorted out. So there we go. The second half hasn't started yet. I am about to set up the timer, so we are ready to go, because the ball is about to get rolling in this one. Hopefully we can see a few more goals in this, because right now it's a decent game, but it's lacking a cutting edge from either side, I would say. It is certainly lacking a cutting edge from either side. But it would definitely be helpful as well for anybody who's watching the stream and that on how we can improve these watch-alongs, because of course a couple of the guys are getting involved with it as well. There'll be some times where there's 2 of us, sometimes 3 of us, sometimes 4 of us, all watching the same game, or watching different matches as well. So I'm looking to do a couple more of these La Liga watch-alongs. Got some big La Liga games coming up over the next week. This is like the schedule that I had. These aren't officially the games I'm going to be doing, but these are games I could watch in the background. So I will be looking to do Southampton versus Man City on July the 5th. So that'll be one of the games. Villarreal versus Barcelona as well on July the 6th is another game that I might look to do as a watch-along. But other games, Leicester City v Palace and that, there are other games that I'm looking at potentially doing in the near future for watch-alongs, of course. Be interesting to see some different leagues. I've also got FC Porto and Sporting CP, who will be playing out, I think, in a week or 2. So we'll have that game as well in Liga NOS. That might be the title decider at that point in the season. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that game. Big one in Portugal in a couple of weeks, and I can't wait to watch that one. So we've just got a couple of players on the pitch now. Just doing a bit of practice, of course, before the players do come out. A couple of noticeable players missing from either side today. João Felix of Atletico Madrid on the bench. Be interested to see whether he comes on, of course, to make a difference. I think Atletico Madrid are lacking that cutting edge in the second half. In the first half even. They need that cutting edge in the second half to break this Barcelona side down. As for Barca, they have actually got a player who can play on the left wing properly, Martin Braithwaite. And Griezmann as well, of course, he's not playing. He wasn't in the side today. I don't know whether he's on the bench or not, actually, for them today. I haven't seen him lingering about the team. So there's a couple of players that they can bring on for either side. Well, they're just about to come out now and be in for the second half of this game. Can we see any more goals? 1-1. We'll have to find out in just a moment's time. Of course, both players, it's a little bit different in La Liga. The way it works in the Premier League, of course, is one team comes out first and then the other team comes out. But in La Liga, they can just both come out at the same time. In fact, they're both coming out of the same tunnel as well. So, no, actually, they are doing that. I thought they were. They're just waiting for Atletico Madrid to go out. I thought that it was they were able to come out at the same time, but Barcelona are coming out here. I wondered that then, because they both came out the same tunnel, which is a bit strange. Of course, if you watch the Premier League, you'll know that they have two separate areas that they're coming out of, which is why I think Liverpool came out of Everton from the toilets or something like that. It was mad. So here come Barcelona in the tunnel, just waiting to come back on the pitch. A lot of work to do. In fact, Artur is there today, it looks like, which is not too bad. Of course, he's signed for Juventus now. It'll be interesting to see how Miralem Pjanic does at Barcelona next season when he joins. As for Artur at Juventus, big signing for them. Big signing. A lot of money spent on the Brazilian. Just as much as Barcelona have spent a lot of cash on Pjanic. Whether he'll be the right fit for them, though, I really don't know. So the players are just coming out now. Jordi Alba, one of those players coming out. One of the star players of Barcelona over the last couple of years. I wonder how long he'll still be there at the club for before he leaves. And then another face, Luis Suarez, of course, getting on with age now. Had a good season for them before getting injured a couple of months ago. He came back, I think, just after the break had finished. Started. After the break had finished, I think. Not started. I know he was injured for quite a while, so we're about to get the ball rolling once again. Second half. He's about to get underway. Are we still sticking with our predictions here? Chris Welch saying a 1-1 draw. I feel like Barcelona might nick this with the way that's been so far in this game. So here we go. Just a couple of drinks left on the pitch there. That needs to be taken off. And they are taken off indeed. Don't know why they've been left on. There we go. So the ball is about to get rolling. Here we go. Are we going to have the second half? Just taking his time here, the referee, to get the ball rolling. And he does indeed. There we go. So the second half of this game begins. Barcelona 1. Atletico de Madrid 1. So far, it's been a decent game. There's been goals for both sides in this match. But since the goals, the game has certainly quieted down a lot. Of course, there was opportunities from both sides. We had a chance for Messi from inside of the box that went wide, and also a free kick as well. And as for Atletico Madrid, well, they had one shot, or two shots in that first half. They've got a lot of work to do. Neither side have made a change as well, which I think is very interesting. I would have thought maybe Diego Costa would have come off, but he's still on the pitch here. I thought maybe João Felix would have come on in this game, just to give them a little bit more pace. We've seen Carrasco doing quite well in this match so far with pace, just taking on the Barca players. And as we saw with the penalty earlier, Vidal struggled with it. But no, there's no changes from either manager so far. Good chance here maybe for Atletico Madrid to go through on goal. Oh, Correa. Oh, well, I thought the referee was going to play on there. That was a beautiful bit of skill from him, just trying to dance around the Barcelona defence. Good little work, but I think it's come back for a free kick to Barcelona there. So chance goes missing. Early opportunity there. Not a massive opportunity. Not really a shot at all there from Atletico Madrid. But Correa looking a bit dangerous on the front. Of course, he's playing up top today as a striker rather than on the wing. Here's PK, who, as I said, is in the book. Complained to the ref in the first half about that penalty, which Saul smashed home to make it 1-1. Comes back to PK again, just a bobbling ball. Some good games going on in La Liga, and of course, it's very nice to have Premier Sport as well, because I haven't watched La Liga for quite a little bit of time now, so it's good to have this have Premier Sport on with some good games. And Of course, it's very hard, as I said at the start of the show, that the UK, there's so many channels for sport. It's unbelievable. It's about 7 different channels for all the football. It's mad. Here's Rakitic. Maybe an opportunity here in this game for Barcelona to have the first attack of the second half. Comes back to Rakitic, just in the middle of the D. Now in there for Ricky Puig. Into Semedo on the far right. Now Vidal. Trying to get it back to Semedo, who's gone down. And there's the referee just giving a penalty. I think the ref has just given a penalty to Barcelona. I don't know. I think he's given that as a penalty. Oh, well. The tackle is made as he's outside the box, but I think the ref's just given a penalty. It's an interesting one here because the tackle was made on the foot when it was inside of the box, but both of his feet wasn't actually in. He's given it as a penalty. Barcelona have an early penalty in this second half. I don't know whether we should go to VAR on this one. I mean, Messi's going to take it. Interesting call there. Nelson, they're showing it now. Nelson Semedo, both of his feet wasn't in the box when the tackle was made. The ref's not going to VAR. He's giving the penalty here, I think. I'm just trying to find out what's happening now. Yeah, he's given the penalty. So, Lionel Messi stands over this. It is a penalty for Barcelona. This is a big opportunity to make it 2-1 straight away in the second half. Of course, Messi, his last 5, he's not missed. What a player he's coming up against here. Jan Oblak. So, Messi stands over this. Oh, well. That is dirty, Messi. That is absolutely dirty. It's in the back of the net. And, well, he's absolutely chipped Oblak. He's Panenka'd it into the back of the net. That is beautiful. And it's 2-1 Barcelona, just like that. That is Lionel Messi's 22nd goal of the season. And he's Panenka'd it into the left-hand side of the goal. And he's just done the celebration where he clicks his fingers like a magician. What a man. 2-1 to Barcelona. And that is dirty. That is absolutely dirty. Panenka's it onto the left-hand side. And Barcelona are in the lead of this game now, 2-1. And when we're getting the goals, what a game. What a nice game to start us off with our first La Liga watch-along. That is just... That's just dirty, Messi. You can't be doing that. That is disgusting. What a man. The fact that he has the stature and the audacity to Panenka Oblak in that situation is unbelievable. But what a goal that is. It's 2-1 to Barcelona. Lionel Messi has put them in the lead. And that is a big, big goal in the title race. Because it now puts Barcelona back into first. Real Madrid in second. They're 1 point ahead of Los Blancos. And what a big goal that is. As I said, we needed a goal in this game just to really lighten the mood up. And what a time it's come for them. And now they're on the attack again here. Great defending from Saul, who's bombing on. And hopefully this livens the game up now. Because as I said, the first half was a little bit more quiet. But it's started to kick on here. And Felipe's gone into the book with the yellow card. Well, he gave away the penalty, I think, on Nelson Semedo. He's now gone into the book. Oh, well, he went diving there with both feet up on Busquets. And he's got a yellow card there. I don't know. I think that's a yellow card, but he could be very lucky. I think some instances of that would have been given as a red card. Very risky there, but he's livening up now. 51 minutes into this. 6 minutes into the second half. We have an early goal for Barcelona to make it 2-1. And, well, Atletico Madrid have to come out now. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. They can't sit back as they were doing in the first half, just waiting for opportunities to arise. They just need to go for it now and try and frustrate this Barcelona side, who no doubt will just keep rolling on. And talking about them rolling on, there was a great chance there for Semedo to bomb down the right-hand side and whip that into the box for Luis Suarez. Here comes Atletico Madrid. They've hit it long for Carrasco, but a little bit too long. And ter Stegen has had to desperately race back into his box there so he can claim the ball. Bit risky from the German goalkeeper there, but it does come to him in the end and he can pick that ball up. But it's a nice way to start the La Liga watch-alongs. Of course, I know there's a lot of late games in La Liga. This one kicked off at 9 o'clock, so it's going to be good to see a couple more late fixtures. I will do a lot more. I know a lot of the boys, I think all of the boys, don't actually have Premier Sport, so they wouldn't be able to watch these games in terms of being as close as live to the actual thing, which is why I thought, well, why not do a couple of Liga watch-alongs of the games that I can watch that the others can't. So we've got a couple of different things on in the background on the channel and some content for you guys as well. It's good to just be able to sit and watch a game, and it's so relaxing, do you know what I mean? It's something different because I haven't done a watch-along for a couple of weeks now. We need Simeone in the Premier League, multiple touchline bans, what a man, I love him, love his passion. He's a great manager on his day. And the thing is, I don't know how long Atletico Madrid will keep Simeone for, because I do think that the Simeone story at Atletico Madrid is coming to an end. Not yet, though. Not yet. I think there's still some time left in the story, but I think the book will close soon. I think in the next 2 or 3 years, I don't think Simeone will be there anymore. I think he'll move on to greener pastures. Either whether he gets sacked, which I just don't think they'd sack him, or whether he just leaves by personal request, which I think is the more likely thing. I think as a manager, it's nice to have an affiliation with a club, but I do think at the same time, managers love a challenge, and they don't stay at clubs for long. Not in this day and age. You look at the big managers in world football like Guardiola, Mourinho now. They stayed at clubs for years, and then they've moved on, and they just keep moving on. You know, Guardiola stayed at Bayern Munich for a couple of years. Now he's at Manchester City. Even now at Manchester City, it's quite clear that eventually Guardiola will move on in the next kind of couple of years and move to a different club where he's got a new challenge. Mourinho, you know, was at Real Madrid for a couple of years. Then he moved to Manchester United, got sacked there. Now at Tottenham. Probably won't be at Tottenham for a long period of time before he moves on to another club. Managers like a challenge. I think Simeone, it'd be interesting to see him move to a different league and try something else. Still be great, Atletico Madrid's greatest ever manager. Oh, absolutely. No doubt. He will be Atletico Madrid's greatest manager for a long, long time. I don't think there'll be another manager like Diego Simeone for that club for decades. Absolute decades. I mean, you could be talking 50 years down the line and he'll still be talked about as one of their greatest ever managers. No doubt, he's built a legacy at the club. He came in 2012. The club wasn't exactly doing amazing. And year on year, he's just built them up as a club. And I think it's always hard as a manager when you've got a rebuilding process to do. You've got to think the amount of players that they lost last year. You know, they lost Godin, getting on, moved to Inter. They lost Griezmann, moved to Barcelona. Over the years, they've lost other players on the side. Great chance there for Diego Costa. He should put that into the back of the net. It should be 2-2. Really should be 2-2 in this. But it's other like players left. So you've got older players like Gabby, for example. You might remember him. He left. Lamar, sorry, he's still there now, sorry. I'm trying to think of another player who did leave in the last couple of years. Not Lamar. I felt like there was another winger that left. I'm probably thinking of Griezmann off the top of my head. Lamar's still here, but I don't know how long he'll be there for. But he will be Atletico Madrid's greatest manager for decades to come. Absolute decades. He's quality, man. But 56 minutes in here. 2-1 to Barcelona. We had a goal from Messi in the I think it was like the 49th minute. There was a penalty for Barcelona. Felipe with a tackle on Nelson Semedo. Interesting decision to where the penalty or whether it should have been a free kick, because where Semedo was tackled was outside the box, but one of his feet was inside. So it's like, I don't know whether you class that as a penalty or not, but it's a goal either way, and it stands now. That's all we can say. It is 2-1 to Barcelona. As for Atletico Madrid in the second half so far, one chance for Diego Costa, decent header, not anything to scream and shout about. Since then, they've looked really poor in this game, Atletico Madrid. Oh, what a ball that is for Ricky Puig. Oh, well, he was diving for that. What a chance that was for the youngster to try and get that into the back of the net. Lovely, lovely ball put in there from, I think it was Jordi Alba, put straight into the feet of Ricky Puig, but he's stretching for that. And a good opportunity goes wide. Great chance there for Barcelona to try and make it 3 and really put the pressure on Atletico Madrid. Pep be gone next season and Klopp be gone in 2024. Yeah, I think it's the same thing with Klopp as well. He has pretty much now done everything he possibly can with Liverpool. He's won pretty much every trophy that they possibly can, apart from the FA Cup. Managers like challenges, and I do think eventually we will see Klopp go to like a Barcelona or a Real Madrid. You know, time will tell, but there's a couple of years left at Liverpool. I think he wants to at Liverpool try and not just cement a title, but get Liverpool as a club that are consistently winning things. And of course, the last 2 years you have been, but I think he wants to do that over a sustained period of time. I'm talking, 3-4 seasons minimum, where Liverpool are at least winning 1 or 2 things a season. It's a tough challenge. Tough challenge, but he's doing an unbelievable job there. Absolutely unbelievable job, and long may it continue. Long may it continue. But yeah, this Atletico Madrid side today have just looked really, really poor. I mean, as I said, 1 chance so far in the last 15 minutes of this second half, and not really much to talk about in the first half. That penalty was absolutely spot on for them. Atletico Madrid did deserve a penalty in this game, but since then, you'd have thought that having an equalising goal would have spurred them on. It's done absolutely nothing for them. It's not really got any of the players going, but talking about them now, they're on the attack here. Gonna feed this into Santiago Arias on the far right. Costa moves into the edge of the box. Gonna work it back to Santiago Arias, formerly of PSV Eindhoven. Into Correa, now for Llorente. Moves to Saul, back to Partey. Some good football here. Partey needs to scoot that ball up because that was terrible work from Saul. Comes to Arias. Can they get something of it? It's lovely work here. Nice spell of possession. They're in the final third, but they just don't seem to be able to break this Barcelona defence down. Partey still has it. Now he has some space at the edge of the box, but he takes such a heavy touch, and it's cleared away. Poor there. And now Barcelona can counter-attack here. Luis Suarez trying to take on Jimenez. He's made a mistake, but quite luckily it goes back to the feet of Oblak. And well, that was a bit risky. Barcelona nearly could have had a third there because of Luis Suarez. And Messi is getting a bit frustrated there. He's just kicked the ball out of play. And Messi's going to get a yellow card here. Bit frustrated with the foul. Kicks the ball out of play. Got to get a yellow card here. We should have beaten Atletico in the second leg. Had chances. End of the day, we didn't take them. You get punished. The problem is with the side is that I think when you scored that goal to equalise, I do think the Liverpool players just got too carried away. I think that was the problem. The Liverpool players just got a bit too carried away, and it worked into Atletico Madrid's hands perfectly. Just a little bit. You tried to push it a little bit too hard, I think. Good chance here for Atletico Madrid. Oh, is that a penalty? It's a penalty again. Another one. They've given another penalty. Well, Yannick Carrasco has just got Atletico Madrid the second penalty, and that's the third penalty of the game. It's penalty central. Carrasco has just got another penalty. And well, this time, it's Nelson Semedo who makes the tackle on him. Oh, that shouldn't be a penalty. That should not be a penalty. Well, Yannick Carrasco has accidentally tripped himself up here. And the referee, I think, has given it as a penalty. Both of his feet clipped together. He's given it as a penalty. He's got to go to VAR, surely. He's got to go to VAR. There wasn't a tackle from Semedo there. Well, I'm just looking now. Semedo doesn't clip him. Carrasco just accidentally trips up his left foot. And he's given it as a penalty. Saul takes it. And he's saved, but it's gone in. Well, that is controversial. It's 2-2 in this game, and Atletico Madrid have just been given a very, very controversial penalty. Saul smacks that into the back of the net. it shouldn't have been a penalty at all. Absolutely shouldn't have been a penalty. But Saul has got his second goal of the day. It's 2-2 in this match. Well, what a game of football this is. What a game this is. Our third penalty. Ter Stegen saves it, but it goes into the back of the net. And it really shouldn't be a penalty for Atletico Madrid there. They're very, very lucky that I don't know whether they've got VAR in the Liga or not, but that should absolutely be a penalty. Sorry, not a penalty. It's quite literally... Oh, by the way, even Rakitic has come off here. Sergio Roberto's come on. Basically, Yannick Ferreira Carrasco tripped up on his left leg. The referee thought Semedo had fouled him. Given the penalty, I'm guessing they've not got VAR in La Liga, so the penalty's just stood. Saul smashed it in. It's 2-2 to Atletico Madrid now. They're coming forward again here. Are they going to try and make it 3-2 in this game? Lodi lofts it in. Oh, that's a dangerous cross, but it goes wide. And what a game to pick for our first watch-along of La Liga. What a game. It's had drama, it's had controversy, it's had dramatic moments, so we've still got half an hour pretty much of this fixture left. You would assume there'd be quite a decent bit of added time, of course, because of the two penalties that we've had in the second half already, but it shouldn't be 2-2. It really shouldn't be 2-2. They're very, very lucky, Atletico Madrid, to get that second goal. As I've said before, realistically speaking, they've done nothing in this game in terms of chances that haven't come from penalties to really frustrate Barcelona, but in terms of the penalties, it's controversial. It shouldn't have been a penalty in the slightest. But this is a good game to watch. And once again, we're back to square one for Barcelona. They've got to come out. And it makes this game enthralling because it gives me talking points to talk about in this match. What's point in VAR if you have it in one league but not the other? Well, that's the thing. I thought La Liga had VAR. I thought La Liga had VAR. I don't know whether people will disagree or agree in the chat. If you've seen the foul, supposed foul that the referee's seen, it's Yannick Carrasco literally tripping himself up. I thought La Liga had VAR, which I don't know why he's not gone to VAR, or whether it's just the fact that since the break maybe VAR isn't being used for the rest of the season. But Atletico Madrid have got a great free kick in a good area here to whip this in. Diego Costa got fouled by Arturo Vidal there. Of course, he's been making a couple of interesting fouls in this match, you could say. Not in the book yet, the Chilean midfielder. But it is a... Oh... Well, do you know what, actually? That shouldn't be a free kick either. Diego Costa diving there. I thought he clipped him there. Didn't clip him at all. So free kick for Atletico Madrid. If they score from this, then that's two very controversial goals that they've scored in this game. It's going to be whipped in here. This is a big moment for Atletico Madrid. It's cleared away. Poor cross. Comes back into the path. And it's cleared away, and well, poor free kick there. That needed to be taken much better there by, I think it was Thomas Partey. Sorry, it was Arias who was taking that. But here's a chance for Atletico Madrid. They're in the box now. Here's Partey on the edge of the box. That's the player I wanted to talk about a little bit a moment ago. Now into the path of Carrasco. And here come Barcelona on the counter-attack. Remember, they must win this game or else they will stay second. Real Madrid first. It would not be enough a draw to get them into the top spot. Of course, remember, if they were to go on the same amount of points as Real Madrid, then Real Madrid would stay top anyway because of head-to-head. Real Madrid winning 2-0 in their fixture in March. So they have to go and win this game. It would put them 1 point above Real Madrid. They need every win they could possibly get. Ball lofted into Luis Suarez, but Jan Oblak saves that. And it's a good catch from the goalkeeper. Like I said on Sunday, was a disgrace. He must have been taking acting lessons of EastEnders. He won a penalty, which was never a penalty for me. Too many softies these days. Well, all I'm going to say, Chris, is if you look at this penalty, I don't think Yannick Carrasco was diving there. Absolutely wasn't a dive. It was just more the fact that he accidentally tripped himself up, and it was given as a penalty. Now, in this day and age, players quite simply will not go and put their hands up and say, I tripped myself up. They're not going to do that. You know, at the end of the day, when it comes to sportsmanship is dead, especially for at this stage of the season as well. Atletico Madrid, Carrasco's not going to put his hands up and say, I accidentally tripped, it's not a penalty. They're going to take it, of course, to get back in the match. But in terms of the supposed penalty, if you're able to watch that back, if you've just joined the stream and you want to see what's happened in this game, then absolutely go and watch it, because it's absolutely 100% not a penalty in the slightest whatsoever. But it's 2-2 in this game. We've still got just above 20 minutes left to go. It's all to play for. What a match this has been. Here's Semedo. Into Lionel Messi. Now for Vidal on the left-hand side, who tries to dink it towards Semedo in the box. But his pass is too heavy. And we have a Barcelona corner here. 67 minutes on the clock. Any more goals in this one? Come on, boys. We want more goals. Let's make this first La Liga watch-along absolutely nuts. We've already had 4 goals in this game. Chris, as it stands, a draw still is on the cards. So he's technically right with that, but not a 1-1. Messi's going to whip this one in. He's hit it long for the back post for Semedo. And there's calls for a penalty here again. Gerard Piqué this time, the one that goes down. But the referee is having absolutely none of it. And Piqué is a little bit disappointed there. Well, it's quite... it's Jimenez on Piqué there. He's got his hands on his shoulders. I wouldn't say that's enough for Piqué to go down. It'd be very harsh to give a penalty there. Piqué laughing at the referee, basically saying it should be a penalty, but I disagree with him. I don't think it is. We're 68 minutes on the clock. 2-2. We've had 3 penalties in this match. Penalty central today in La Liga. But we are going to have a substitution now, and Marcus Llorente has come off. João Felix has come on, which is the substitution, of course, I said I thought Atletico Madrid should have made earlier on, just to inject a little bit more pace into this side, because quite frankly right now he's proved perfect. Pace has been really important for both of Atletico Madrid's goals. Yannick Carrasco being the main man for them today, getting the 2 penalties in this match, of course. Just because he's been really quick. I mean, as I said, the second penalty that they scored shouldn't have counted. But once again, he's got really quick eccentric pace that Nelson Semedo couldn't catch up to. So it wasn't a foul in the slightest, or a penalty, but his pace has really proved crucial. And that's why I think get João Felix on now. Get a bit more pace in this side. And maybe they can nick the winner in this game and shot Barca. Here is Ricky Puig. Good clearance away from Jimenez there, and it's so open this game right now. Barcelona once again coming into their own, really doing well in the attack. You can see that the way that Atletico Madrid are playing with a 4-4-2, it's very flat, it's very low and defensive. Costa and Correa are still in their half, but there's a great ball from Arturo Vidal, who's just hit the free kick early. It's in the path for Semedo. Vidal's hit it! Oh! What an opportunity that was. Well, Arturo Vidal took a free kick very quickly on the edge of the D, lofted it into Nelson Semedo, who hit it back to Vidal on the edge of the box, trying to curl it into that top right-hand corner, and that nearly went into the back of the net. What a goal that would have been to potentially win the game for Barcelona. What a goal that would have been. Jesus. Really, really good attempt, and that's great work from Vidal just to take it really quick, but so close to that winning that goal to put Barca in the lead. I can't exactly say winning yet because there's 20 minutes left, and with the way that this game's going on right now, it's been absolutely absurd. Crazy game to start us off with our La Liga watch-alongs. Here's Saul into Correa, who looks like he's moved to the right-hand side now. Felix coming into the middle. Back heel there from Thomas Partey, doesn't come off. Right now, how come there's been an own goal and 3 penalties? What the hell is this game? Honestly, Rowan, it's been a mental match. The own goal from Diego Costa was 2 seconds here, because Vidal's through on goal. Cleared away. And the own goal came from Messi nutmegging Diego Costa on a corner. Not even shitting you. Watch it. It's mental. And then the first penalty was absolutely deserved from Carrasco. It was taken. Diego Costa missed it because Ter Stegen came off his line too early. So they retook the penalty again. Then he scored it. Then Barca got a penalty in the second half at the start. Messi scored that. And that was an interesting choice there. on whether that was a penalty or not. Questionable. And then the other penalty, which we've just had about 5 minutes ago, that shouldn't have been a penalty anyway. Yannick Carrasco accidentally tripped himself up, but because they've not got VAR, it looks like, the ref gave the penalty, and Atletico Madrid took it. So 2 very questionable penalties, and 1 penalty that was a little bit controversial in terms of ter Stegen coming out. But here come Atletico Madrid. Renan Lodi right on the edge of the box here. Hit by Felix, and it goes straight into the hands of ter Stegen. And this game is so open right now. Who's going to win it? Or is it going to end as a draw? As I said, Barca have got to win this game no matter what happens. And I wish every game could be like this. Do you know what I mean? If we're going to do more Liga watch-alongs, every game needs to be like this. Only 3 shots on target for Atletico Madrid. 4 shots on target for Barcelona in this game right now. That's 2 more, of course, for Atletico Madrid than they had in the first half. But what a crazy game this has been. I mean, I wanted to start off these Liga watch-alongs with a big game, and of course this is just a great game to watch on paper, but I wasn't expecting it to have 4 goals in it, with all the controversy going on. Here is Langley on the ball. The Barca players are really, really far forward here. You know that they're going for this now. I think they know that they've got to win this game. Jordi Alba, terrible pass. And I do think as well, especially in the last 5 minutes, Atletico Madrid are looking at this game and thinking, well, why don't we win it as well? I mean, 2-2 right now. They've had a couple of decent chances in this second half. Felix had a shot just outside of the box a moment ago. Wasn't amazing, but it's a shot on target, and every shot on target counts. And, at 2-2, I think Atletico Madrid would be the happier of the sides with a draw. Barcelona, of course, would be very disappointed with a draw, considering with the way that Real Madrid have been playing this season. But if Atletico Madrid can nick this late on with a 3-2 win, then this game is going to be outrageous if they nick it late on. But if Barca nick it late on, well, that is a massive goal for the title race. An ugly win for Atletico, as always, for me. So you think they're going to nick it late on? I honestly, I don't know. It's a really, really good game, this. Really, really good game. Sorry about that. I'm just going to put up my phone on charge here. Get that going in the background, of course. I'll see your comments as we go along in this match. But as it stands, 2-2 still. 15 minutes left on the clock. Good chance here for Barca to go through on goal. Ref plays the advantage. Still going here. If for Jordi Alba on the left-hand side. Great chance to whip this one in. It's there for Vidal. And he's missed it. Oh, well, another chance goes missed for Vidal. He's got his heads in his hand right now. And the referee brings us back, of course, as said a moment ago. He was going to give a free kick. Yellow card. I think he's gone to Diego Costa there. It has indeed. Yellow card for Diego Costa. Certainly been coming. Of course, Diego Costa yellow card bingo. Should have been played today. A tackle there on Ricky Puig. 100% a yellow card. Absolutely smashes into the youngster. But in terms of the chance for Vidal there, great, great ball for Jordi Alba. And you have to say, Vidal has got to look at that chance and think, what an opportunity that was to get the goal to put them in the lead. But they're just going into a drinks break now, of course. Drinks breaks are needed a lot more in La Liga than they will do in the Premier League, for example. The weather there right now is so hot, scorching. You can see, 15 to 20 minutes in this game, players are already sweating with the swarming heat. But as I said before, in the first half, when the cooling break was on, we've got plenty more content still to come on the channel on the Sports Corner. We're going to be doing more La Liga watch-alongs in the future, but not just the Liga as well. We're going to try and do more watch-alongs of different leagues. Now the Bundesliga is done, we're going to do more games separately than we are of games accumulatively. Of course, a lot of leagues across world football are playing games at different times rather than playing them all at the same time as each other. So, for example, the league is playing, I think, 3 fixtures at a different time, as is the Premier League. But we can keep your eye out. There's going to be more watch-alongs. I'll announce them, of course, on Twitter. The link, of course, as always, is in the description for Twitter. As for content on the YouTube channel, we've got more stuff coming. Wrestling Corner is available. That was available this morning. Great show with Rowan and Simon. If you love your wrestling stuff, I highly do recommend keeping your eyes out for it. As for tomorrow, we do have, of course, the Top Corner podcast, which will be back. Me, Rowan, Kieran, and Kieran L. Both Kierans, of course. We'll be back for that 3 p.m. tomorrow. There are a lot of games to talk about and a lot of goals. It's been a great, great week for football, and hopefully we can have more good football to come. So keep your eyes out on the channel. Plenty more content where that came from. So the drink breaks is now over. 77 minutes on the clock. Diego Costa has come off, of course. Just got himself a booking a moment ago. He's come off the pitch. Not really had a great day at all. Of course, missed a penalty. Conceded an own goal. Not really done much in the game today. But he's come off for Alvaro Morata, of course. He's come on in this game. Chris Welch, Lionel Messi and Ronaldo are the only two active footballers to have scored 700 career goals. I never like comparing both. Let's just be relieved we are alive to witness them both. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. You've got to make the most of both of these players, because you'll look in a couple of years' time and realise that these players aren't around anymore. And we're not going to see players of Messi and Ronaldo's calibre for a very, very long time. I mean, you could say the closest player to it right now is Kylian Mbappe, but we've got a chance here from the edge of the box, but the referee's blown it back for a free kick. I was going to say, of course, the closest player we've got to one of the big dogs of the future is Mbappe, but I've always said the thing with Mbappe is he has to watch out, because with being so young and doing so well, he's always going to get picked for games. And I'm not saying this because it will happen, but a Michael Owen situation could quite very easily happen. And I don't mean Michael Owen in terms of his career goes down the pan, but more just a case of he has to watch out with injuries because he's playing that much. You know, he's playing all the time for PSG. He's always going to be playing for the French squad with the way that he's playing right now. He always just has to watch out with injuries. And I think the worst thing that could ever happen to Mbappe is if he picks up like a knee injury or something that just keeps him out for quite a long period of time. Whether he can sustain the form he had before, that's always a worry. But at the end of the day, Mbappe is an unbelievable player on his day. And let's just appreciate the young kid that we've got now, because he's just incredible. Absolutely incredible the way that he plays. He's such an outstanding player, and long may it come. You know, if he can play at the same rate for the next 10 to 15 years, he's got a great career ahead. Well, we're going into the final 10 minutes now. We've got a booking here. I think Yannick Carrasco has just got himself a yellow card for a foul on Messi, and yeah, it's a yellow card. Just gets on the studs there of Messi. It is a yellow card indeed, and I think it's in a decent position for this to be whipped in here. Yannick Carrasco is protesting. It's just on the far left-hand side. This can be whipped into the box here. I agree with your point on Mbappe. Yeah, I'm not saying in terms of Michael Owen, in terms of, he's going to be a French Michael Owen. Just, he's so good to have a young player that's doing incredible, but it's just worrying that he hasn't had an injury yet. A major injury, but I'll talk about that in a second. Free kick just on the outside of the box here for Messi. Lofted into the box. And that's going to be, I think, going to be retaken here. The referee's just having a talking to... And yeah, that's going to be retaken. I thought he'd given a penalty then. I was like, Jesus Christ. So it's going to be retaken again. I thought, are we going to have a fourth penalty in this game? No, we're not. So it's going to get retaken here. Messi. Just outside the box, the centre-backs are up, Lenglet and Piqué. If they can head this in, 3-2 with 10 minutes left, would be massive for the title race. It's lofted in by Messi. It's headed to the back post, but it's over. And that's going to go for a goal kick. Disappointing there for Sergio Busquets. Not really guided well on target. But I guess you'd never really expect Sergio Busquets to be scoring goals, do you? But in terms of the point I was making on Mbappe, it's just he hasn't had like a big serious injury that's kept him out long periods yet. And it's whether he can keep the fitness levels and whether his body just in general allows him to keep going, because we've seen so many young players in the past who have had injury issues that have ruined their careers. You've only got to look at a player like Alexandre Pato, who, back in his day at AC Milan was outrageous. I mean, the man was unbelievable. I remember watching him as a youngster, which sounds like I'm really old, but it's just a case of how long ago it was when Alexandre Pato was good. But, I remember him at the time when Ibrahimovic was there, and he was just unbelievable. And you thought to yourself that this kid has got a long and prosperous career to come. And then he picked up injuries, and his career just slowly fell off. And it was a shame, because he was so good on his day. And I remember the goal he scored against Barcelona, where he went through all the defenders, and you thought to yourself, we've got the real deal is here right now. We've got a real deal of a Brazilian striker, which, You know, Brazil at that time had been screaming out for somebody to kind of, you know, become the next Ronaldo, as you could say. And he looked like the real deal. And it's just a shame that because of injuries, his career just slowly fell off and he wasn't getting game time for Milan. And, you know, you even look towards the latter end of his career. He had a great chance to revitalise himself at Chelsea. He didn't get that. And then his career just slowly fell off. And I mean, the crazy thing is with Alexandre Pato is he's still not necessarily old. I think he's 29 or 30, so he's got a couple of years left in him. But it just proves the fact that over the last couple of years, those injuries killed his career. And there's loads of other names over the last decades you can pick out and say, well, they were incredible, but injuries killed their career off. I think the list is, quite frankly, endless. And it's just a shame. We've got a good chance here for Atletico Madrid. Lofted into the box there for Morata. Longley with a massive header to clear that away from the Spanish striker. And we're going to have a throw in here in a decent area. Maybe Atletico Madrid can make something of this. But if you are new to the stream and you've enjoyed it, it'd be greatly appreciated if you do leave a subscription. We're going to be doing more watch-alongs in the future. And, of course, we'll be playing more of the Liga watch-alongs as well. The Liga watch-alongs will be probably with just me, because I know the other guys on the channel don't have access to Premier Sport, while I do, for the next month or so, as the Liga ends. So I'll be able to do a couple more of these in the background for different games. But I know a couple of the boys will be doing other watch-alongs as well. I'm going to do a watch-along for the Liga NOS in a couple of weeks. I'm going to do some Premier League games where we'll get, hopefully, all the boys on board for it. So keep your eyes out on the channel. Plenty more stuff to come. But Lodi there, just trying a long-range effort. And now things are getting interesting. Of course, you've got to remember that each team can make 5 substitutions with the rules changing up. So the 5 substitutions can be done in only 3 phases. Atletico Madrid are bringing 2 players on here. Of course, we've got 6 minutes of this game to go. Yannick Carrasco, great game he's had, comes off for Thomas Lemar. Good game Yannick Carrasco's had, of course, getting the 2 penalties for Atletico Madrid in this game. Very, very decisive in terms of those opportunities, even though you can say that second penalty was a little bit questionable. So he comes off the pitch. Thomas Lemar, who struggled at Atletico Madrid this season, and just in general since he's moved, comes on. As for the other change, Angel Correa comes off. Vitola comes on. Barcelona have also made a change as well. A certain youngster by the name of Ansu Fati, which we've just been talking about youngsters, he comes on for Sergio Busquets. So you can see now how these teams are going. Both sides think they can win this. Tactical changes here. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Barcelona adopting to move away from the CDM, and they've just brought on their youngster Ansu Fati, who once again is one of those youngsters who could become incredible in the future. So we've got 5 minutes left, and we'll probably have about 4 or 5 minutes of additional time. So you can call it 10. Of course, we're nearly towards 11 PM UK time here, which is awesome to be streaming this late. Usually I'm not streaming this late, but for a game like this, it's been outstanding. World Cup 2022, Brazil and France squad depth will be ridiculously good. I absolutely agree with you. They're going to have crazy, crazy teams. And, of course, I find it interesting as well to think, when will Messi and Ronaldo give up playing at the international stage? Because, of course, Ronaldo's going to have his Euros next season. Messi will have Copa America as well because that got delayed. I think that will be both of their... well, probably not Messi's last tournament, but maybe Ronaldo's. Got a great chance here for Vidal. Oh! Well, that was an absolutely astonishing ball into the box from Messi to Vidal there. Just lofts it in. Vidal trying to go for the header. What a ball. I mean, it's beautiful to watch Barcelona because, as I said, I don't get to watch Barcelona much. And you see games like this and passes where Messi's just pinging the ball into players like Vidal and that. And it's beautiful to watch. Just as you said, Chris, it's great to just watch these players now and make the most of them. But it's going to be in a very, very attacking final couple of minutes. Atletico Madrid on the edge of their attacking half of play here. Morata gets it into the box. Still goes for goal. Takes on the shot. Ter Stegen goes down. But it doesn't go on goal. Now there's a great opportunity here. It's lofted in. Trying to get it towards João Felix. Bobbles down for, I think that's Vitolo. Still has the ball. And as I said, these sides and the next 5 to 10 minutes are really, really going to go for it in this fixture. 2-2 as it stands. Atletico Madrid on the attack again. Lemar takes a touch. Drops down here for Saul. Still got it. is cleared away. And the referee gives a free kick to Atletico Madrid. Both teams want the win, you can tell, in terms of the substitutions. Both managers brought attacking players on. Atletico Madrid bringing 2 forwards on. Barcelona taking a CDM off for a forward in Ansu Fati. Can that be the all-important decisive substitutions for either side to nick the 3 points in this game? Of course, Barcelona need the 3 points more than Atletico Madrid do, and you can tell with the way that they're playing right now. The players are pushing forward. The centre-backs are really getting pushed towards the middle of the D rather than being pushed a little bit further back. If they can get them forward here, maybe they can make something late on. Of course, Griezmann hasn't actually come on in this game yet, and I don't think he will be at this stage. Messi free kick versus us last season was just ridiculous. Rest was history in that fixture. Yeah, you've just got to appreciate Messi for what he does, really. He's an outrageous player on his day. And when you see moments of magic like that, you just have to stand up and applaud. I mean, you've only got to look at players like, for example, when Ronaldinho was playing and he had the absolutely showstopper performance against Real Madrid, and all the Real Madrid fans, when he scored, literally just got up on their feet and gave him a standing ovation. That is the type of thing where you've got to do it for Messi. He's so unbelievable, and, you know, we've got a couple of years of him left. You have to make the most of him. No matter whether you support Bayern, Liverpool, whether you support PSG, Real Madrid, we're not going to have a player like this for a long, long time. Just make the most of him while he's here. So we've got a chance now. Nelson Semedo bombing up on the right-hand side. Lofts a really heavy ball into the box for Ansu Fati, who tries to get his head onto it, but he's nowhere near the goal, and it's going to be a goal kick. And, well, we've got a couple of minutes of this game left. I think the referee will add on 4 minutes at a time. I think he's actually given that as a free kick to Atletico Madrid there. Ansu Fati really getting his hands on Jimenez. And I think he's given that as a foul, but 4 more minutes of this game to go, I think. I think 4 minutes. Here's Vidal. Both teams have got to go for it now. 2-2 as it stands. The changes have been made. We're into the final section of this game. It's been an enthralling counter to watch. I didn't think it'd be that good. Of course, both of these sides really going for it today. And it's been a great, great game to watch. In terms of it not being that good, I thought Barcelona would probably go out here and maybe get a 2-0 win or something like that. But Atletico Madrid, take away the fact that the penalty for the second goal was very controversial. They've done really good. They've done all right. Not really done anything attacking-wise, apart from the penalties. But in terms of the way that they've played and the defensive style, they've had a decent match. But here we go again. Another change coming on here. Arturo Vidal's coming off. Antoine Griezmann's coming on. Here we go, boys. Another attacker is on. And we are going to have here, in terms of additional time in this fixture, a total of... Still not come up yet. 4 minutes. There's 4 minutes of this game left. Both sides really going for it now. Here come Atletico Madrid on the attack. Partey on the edge of the box. Takes on the shot. But it goes wide. And it's not near the goal. Well, I think you saw the headlights there. He saw the headlines, and that was a poor decision from the Ghanaian midfielder. Baphomet when Laporte don't get picked for France. It's crazy though, isn't it? The squad depth that France have is unbelievable. But talking about France, Griezmann's first touch on the ball gives it back to his other team, French team compatriot, Thomas Lemar. And then he comes back to do the defending. Good there from Griezmann, but they've got pretty much every attacker on the pitch right now, apart from Martin Braithwaite, Messi, Suarez, Griezmann, Ansu Fati. 3 minutes left on the clock. They need to get a winner in this game late on. They have to get it. Thomas Partey makes a mistake. Great ball in there for Ansu Fati, but Jimenez does really well to defend, and Oblak clears his lines. If they can get a goal late in this game, it's going to be absolutely nutty for the title race. Real Madrid will be looking on and thanking their rivals if it stays 2-2. It's been a great game for them, as I said, not attacking-wise, but in terms of how they've defended, team structure, they've been solid. And there's still time for them to nick it late on here, but there's a chance here for Barcelona. It's come down towards the path of Ansu Fati, but he just can't get through on goal. And maybe his decision-making there for the youngster was very poor. We're going to see a couple more attacks here late on. Really poor ball from Lemar, somehow kept in play by Vitolo. Don't know how he's kept that in. Lofted long for Partey, who's onside, and Partey still has it. He's got the ball. Ter Stegen's come out. He's passed it back for João Felix, and whoa, why? That's poor. Oh, you've got to do better than that. That is such a great opportunity to stick that into the back of the net. That is such a great opportunity. I don't know why you just didn't try and flick that over, because Ter Stegen came out there. That was such a good opportunity to whack that in the back of the net. And it might prove costly now, because here come Barcelona on the attack. You expect it to go all guns blazing in this last minute and a half. Are we going to see a winner, or is it going to end 2-2 as a stalemate in our first ever Liga Watchalong live between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid? I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We'll be definitely doing more in the future. If you guys enjoy it, of course. Here comes Griezmann, trying to take a shot from the outside of the box, but it's cleared away. And here comes all the pressure from Barcelona. It's moved up by Jordi Alba into Ansu Fati on the far left-hand side of the field. Lovely bit of trickery from the youngster. Even better tackle. And well, actually, the referee disagrees. Lamar making the tackle there. Yellow card. And this has got to be one of the final opportunities of the game. Well, maybe it wasn't as good as a tackle as I thought it was. Lamar goes into the book, and with 40 seconds left on the clock, this is just outside of the box on the left-hand side. Lionel Messi has a great opportunity to whip this one in. He can't take this on goal. I mean, he could if he wanted to, but it's a very, very awkward angle. But if Messi can get this in the box, everyone's going up for it. This could be a great opportunity to win the game in the dying seconds. Big moment this. This needs to go in the back of the net for the title race. Messi lofts it in at the near post. It goes out. Very, very poorly taken for a throw-in. And with 5 seconds left on the clock here, of course, the ref will probably play on a little bit longer here in terms of a couple of fouls and that. Messi lofts it into the box. Comes down. It's in for Griezmann. Tries to drop down, but Jimenez clears it away. And well, the referee blows his whistle. And that is that. Barcelona have just dropped points against Atletico Madrid, and you have to say it is a very, very poor result in terms of the complexion of the title race for Barcelona. They had to win this game, and with the look of Quique Setien right now, he looks absolutely disappointed with himself and disappointed with his side. Yannick Carrasco's been given the man of the match, and he did a fantastic job today for Barcelona. Got the Atletico Madrid, not Barcelona. Maybe we'll play there one day. 2 penalties, of course. First penalty, absolutely deserved. Second penalty, very questionable. Of course, what happened with that penalty there is he accidentally tripped himself up, but of course, there's no sportsmanship. He's not going to give that. And that was a decisive moment to get Atletico Madrid back into the game. So it finishes 2-2 in this one. Quique Setien will be disappointed with his side. Barcelona have to be disappointed with themselves, because it really does now mean that Real Madrid have the foothold in the title race. And it probably means Quique Setien is a step closer to the sack, if we're putting it nicely. Of course, the Real Madrid fans will be absolutely loving this. Barcelona fans will have probably gone onto Twitter right now, shouting abuse and putting all those memes of Quique Setien on Twitter. For Atletico Madrid, great point. Puts them a point further away, of course, from the rest of the pack for the Champions League spots. Great game of football for them. Didn't necessarily show much attacking-wise, apart from the penalties. But they did all they had to do against Barcelona. And a great result for them means it ends Barcelona 2, Atletico Madrid 2. What a great game of football that was. Lovely, lovely first match for the La Liga watch-along. And I hope you guys certainly enjoyed it. As I said, Barcelona, they've got to look at this as a loss, in my opinion, more than it is a win. They came really attacking in some phases of play and had a lot of opportunities to put the ball into the back of the net. Messi had a chance from inside of the box that nearly curled into the top corner, no pun intended. Vidal had a couple of headers on goal as well that went wide. And it's a great, great chance for Atletico Madrid here to nick the points, which is exactly what they did. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that has joined for this first La Liga watch-along. As I said, I'm going to try and do more La Liga watch-alongs over the course of the rest of the season. I know some of you guys won't have access to these games, and just in general fact might have a bit of appeal to watching these La Liga matches. But we will be back with some more games in the future. As I said, I do have a couple of games in mind, so keep your eyes out on Twitter. The link is in the description, as always, on the YouTube channel for you to go and look at the other social media content. Of course, we do have Twitch TV as well, which I'm doing a couple of other things on there. Of course, we have a virtual Euro 2020 tournament going on. That continues on in a couple of days' time. But thank you very much for everybody that has joined us for this watch-along of Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. We'll be back in the near future with another watch-along. It might not be La Liga, it might be something else. But as for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't enjoy it, of course, do put in the comments below what you'd like to improve on it. And we'll take that feedback on, of course, for next time. So thank you very much for watching. We'll be back with another watch-along, no doubt, in the next